Hello, everybody. Steve coming at you, and welcome to Last Reps Baseball. Tonight should be an exciting matchup between two Japanese powerhouse baseball teams. I hope you all enjoy this and treat Freddie with all the respect he deserves. Call a good game, Freddie, and who knows, someday you may even see me in one of these games. And if you don't, you might want to come check out my channel and see what I do. You know what? But hey, let's get back to Freddie. Let's get some baseball. Let's just have a great game.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Reps Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. Tonight, we are going to be bringing you the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles and the Orix Buffaloes from the Kyocera Dome in Osaka. These two ball clubs here are both in the playoff hunt. A team being the Buffaloes has got a chance to clinch the Pacific League Championship here in the next few days, and the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles are chasing the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks for the third and final playoff spot. So this series here will help position both teams as they move closer towards the playoffs, and certainly the Golden Eagles have a lot to play for as they are on the outside looking in. We're first of all going to give you the starting lineups for Tohoku. Leading off and playing third base tonight is wearing number 0, Hiroto Kobukata. Batting second in right field is number 51, Yuya Ogo. Hitting third and doing the designated hitting is number 35, Hiroki Shimochi. And the cleanup spot and playing second base is number 3, Hideo Asamura. Batting fifth in left field is number 27, Takeru Okajima. Batting sixth at first base is number 4, Toshiki Abe. Hitting seventh in center field is number 8, Ryosuke Tatsumi. Batting eighth at shortstop is number 66, Itsuki Muribayashi. And batting ninth and doing the catching is number 26, Jinjiro Sumitani. And they are going to be facing the ace of the Buffaloes. It is going to be Yoshinobu Yamamoto taking to the hill. Fresh off a no-hitter, he has got 14 wins and 5 losses. He's worked 143 innings. He's allowed 102 hits, 24 runs, 20 which have been earned. He's walked 24, struck out 145, and he's got a microscopic ERA of 1.26. Before we give you the Buffalo lineup, we welcome Tyler into the stream, and we appreciate you for being here. We've been back for about a week or so, and we're glad to be back in the saddle to give you guys some NPB baseball. Now the starting lineups for the home team for the Orix Buffaloes. Leading off and doing the designated hitting is number 99, Yataro Sugimoto. Batting second in right field is number 0, Haruto Watanabe. Batting third and doing the catching is number 4, Tomoya Mori. And the cleanup spot in center field is number 67, Kai Nakagawa. Batting fifth at third base is number 6, Yuma Mune. Hitting in the sixth spot and playing shortstop is number 24, Kotaro Kobayashi. Batting seventh at second base is number 3, Ryo Adachi. Hitting eighth and playing first base wearing number 8 is Marwin Gonzalez. And batting ninth and in left field is number 39, Aryoma Ikeda. And they are going to be facing Takayuki Kishi, who takes to the mound. He's got a 6-5 record. Kishi's worked 96 1/3 innings this year. He's allowed 101 hits, 38 runs, 36 of which have been earned. He's walked 18 and struck out 62, and he's got an ERA of 3.36. Well, those are your starting lineups. We'll be ready to get this one underway in just a few minutes. It's a pretty healthy crowd tonight at the Kyocera Dome, something that they don't always see for the Buffaloes, but they are in the hunt for the top spot. We are going to be back in just a couple moments. Appreciate you guys for being with us. We'll be back after these musical tunes. Welcome back, everybody. Yoshinobu Yamamoto has completed his warm-up tosses, and we're ready to get this one underway. Teruto Kobakata, Yuya Ogo, and Hiroki Shimouchi come to bat for the Golden Eagles. It'll be ball games tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday, North American time, as we will do all 3 games of this series. So Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday, North American time, as there will be games in Monday in Japan. The first pitch of the ball game is a fastball delivered for a called strike. We are underway, and it is at 2:01 local time or Japan time. As the right-hander Yamamoto delivers, there's a fastball swung on. This is lifted foul. It's going to drift into the seats over the netting behind that temporary seating, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Got a chance to see 2 games at the Kyocera Dome, and neither of them involved the Orix Buffaloes, which is their home stadium. The Carp and the Giants played a neutral site game there, as that fastball misses down for a ball, and the count is 1-2, of which was the home games for the Yomiuri Giants. So the Kyocera Dome, which is not always packed to the gills for the Buffaloes, as that fastball just misses inside, and the count is 2-2, were sold out both of those games for the Carp and the Giants. Lots of attendance for that. And the Kyocera Dome in some ways reminds me of the Houston Astrodome. It looks like a spaceship has landed in the middle of nowhere. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined right to the first baseman, Gonzalez, who has to move a little bit to his right to make the catch. And that is going to retire Kobakata for the first out of the innings. So 1 up and 1 away. And that's going to bring up the right fielder, Yuya Oga. Well, for Ogo on the season, he's hitting .260. He's got himself 9 homers and 44 runs driven in. Tyler says he's got to put a bet in. Tonight, if I was in anybody's shoes, betting shoes, I'd be looking at the Buffaloes easy on this one because of Yamamoto. Simply the best in the NPB right now. There's a breaking ball delivered to Ogo. Take it for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Ogo hitting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Yamamoto as he waggles the bat and waits here on the offering. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball swung on and tap foul to the first base side of home plate. The count now is 0-2 to Ogo. And we'll look to try to cover games pretty much all the way to the end of the season. The only difference that I can tell everybody is that we will call the games that are means something. We're pretty much going to write off the Dragons and the Fighters from any future games. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and Ogo goes down on strikes. He's in the books for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away, and it's going to leave it up to the designated hitter, Hiroki Shimouchi. Well, Shimouchi batting .221 on the year. He has quietly been inching his batting average up. He had an absolute horrendous start to his season. 6 homers and 25 RBIs, a far cry from what he did in the 2022 season. As the right-hander delivers, there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field. Moving in on it and making the catch is the right fielder, Watanabe, and that will do it here for the Eagles, as he is gone for out number 3 here in the inning. Well, it's a quick inning for the Golden Eagles. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're through a half inning. Your score is the Eagles 0 and the Buffaloes coming to bat. Stick around. We'll be back with the bottom of the first inning in just a couple moments. Appreciate everybody for jumping in here with us tonight. We'll be right back after this.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Takayuki Kishi who is taking to the hill here for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. The 38-year-old right-hander is in his 7th season with Tohoku after spending the early part of his career with the Saitama Cebu Lions. He is 6-5, as we mentioned at the outset on the season. He doesn't have the power arm that he once used to have. He has those 62 strikeouts in 96 and a third innings. But he does have the ability to throw strikes and to be around the zone, and that's what they will be looking for the Golden Eagles here tonight. So the leadoff hitter is a little bit conspicuous here. It is Yataro Sugimoto, and the first pitch to him is a fastball swung on. It is taken on one hop by the shortstop as it is fielded by Murray Biashi, and he throws on one hop to first. And Sugimoto is going to go in the books as a ground out 6-3 for the first out of the inning. And the reason why it was a little bit of an interesting decision to see Sugimoto there, he is not your typical leadoff hitter. He's a big fella, and he runs okay for a big man, but he is not the most fleet of foot. That is an interesting decision to put him into the top spot in the batting order, but he's gone for out number 1. That's going to bring up the right fielder, Haruto Watanabe. For Watanabe on the season, he's hitting a .194. He's got no homers and 1 run driven in. And the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to Watanabe. Our friend Tyler says Buffalo's money line and Chiba to keep their 3-run lead as that fastball is taken for a called strike, and now the count goes to 0-2 on Watanabe. Another thing that's interesting about the Buffalo lineup, they've got a couple of youngsters, Watanabe being one and Akita being the other, as they're trying to sprinkle them in some playing time at the end of the year here, as that fastball just misses outside and the count is 1-2. So not the strongest lineup that I would say or that we would see in the playoffs, but you've got to get some of your players rested. You've got to get some others in the lineup as that fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2 to Watanabe. Buffaloes, as we said before, find themselves in the top spot in the Pacific League as they are trying to scratch out the championship here. As there's a ground ball hit to second, fielded on the run by Asamura, throws to first, and that's going to retire Watanabe. It's a ground out 4-3 for the second out of the inning. So 2 Buffaloes up and 2 Buffaloes down here in the bottom of the first, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Tomoya Mori. Well, for Tomoya Mori on the season, he's hitting .287, 15 homers and 56 RBIs. As much as it has strengthened the Buffaloes lineup to have Mori in it, when I got a chance to see the Saitama Cebu Lions, he is a big missing piece in their lineup, as he'd spent the last number of years with their ball club. There's a first pitch breaking ball swung on it, missed. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike here to Mori. The magic number for the Buffaloes is 7. That's a combination of their victories and Marines' losses that will get them over that hump. They have a 12.5 game lead on the Marines. There's a fastball that misses down and in. Count now goes to 1-1 on Mori. They were talking a little bit about this the other night, and they are the number 1 team, or tied for the number 1 spot in home runs in the Pacific League, as that fastball just misses in, and the count is now 2-1 to Mori. 2 balls and 1 strike. But it is their pitching that is absolutely outstanding. Best ERA in the Pacific League, as that breaking ball just misses outside, and the count goes to 3-1. And to top it all off, they are tied with the Hanshin Tigers for the best ERA in the NPB, as both teams have a .264 earned run average. There's a fastball swung on and tap foul over on the first base side. The count remains at 3-2 to Mori. I only got a chance to see 2 Pacific League games, and I was able to see 3 of the 4 teams. We saw the Lions and the Fighters, and then we saw the Buffaloes and the Lions. As there's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is taken on one hop by the first baseman, Abbey. Nice play by him. He's going to win the race to the bag. Mori is gone on a ground out to 3 for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it here in the first for the Buffaloes. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Through 1 complete at the Kyocera Dome in Osaka, Your score is the Eagles 0 and the Buffaloes 0. Come on back. We'll be back with the call of the second inning when we return right after this. Appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight. Here's our friend Steve again. We'll be right back.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Appreciate you, Steve, and the support you give to our channel after the game. Be sure to go check him out. That's Steve Rademacher. We'll be back in 30 with all the action. Top of the second inning, about ready to happen. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the heart of the batting order coming up for the Eagles as Yoshinobu Yamamoto has completed his warm-up tosses. That means it's Hideto Asamura, Takeru Okajima, and Toshiki Abe to come to bat here to face the ace of the Buffaloes. Asamura batting from the right side, hitting .262 on the year with 23 homers and 67 runs batted in, takes a fastball outside for ball one, and the count is 1-0. Asamura hitting from the right side here against the right-hander Yamamoto, who kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes even at 1-1. That last pitch poured in at 97 miles an hour. With 23 homers, Asamura is tied for the lead in the Pacific League with home runs, although he is a significant amount away from Kaz Okamoto of the Yomiuri Giants, who hit his 40th last night. Fastball misses down and in, and the count is now 2-1 to Asamura. Asamura hitting from the right side here against Yamamoto, who rocks into the windup. And he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that misses outside. The count's 3-1. Intriguing the way that Yamamoto has changed his delivery. He doesn't really have a big leg kick out of the windup like he used to. It was quite noticeable. I'd like to try to do a comparison of where he's at today versus where he was at a couple of seasons ago. He pretty much walks back and then has a very small leg kick as he delivers a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is now 3-2 to Asamura. They said that there was a lot of Major League brass in attendance in his last start. Of course, he had thrown a no-hitter as the 3-2 pitch is on the way. He rocks into the windup and fires. It's a fastball swung on. This is lined into right field. This is going to get down for a base hit, so we don't have to have a back-to-back no-hitter talk on our hands, as Hideto Asamura has got the first hit of the ball game for the Golden Eagles, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Takeru Okajima. But there's a lot to like about Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and I think that from this perspective, that he would be another interesting signing like Kodai Senga was for the Mets. So I know the Mets have got money, and they got money to spend. And if I take a look at the contract that Yamamoto was making, I had it in I picked up a couple of good reads actually when I was over in Japan. I don't even think he's making north of 10 million. If my memory serves me correct, I'll have to go and do a double check on that. But he certainly can get that in the United States. There's a fastball swung on and tap foul, just past the bag at first base, and the count is 0-1. So he is making some money, certainly in Japan. The question is how much money is he going to command and want to make? And I think that there is going to be money on the table for him in Japan or certainly in North America, wherever he so chooses to play. Here is the 0-1 pitch. It's a fastball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 1-1 on Okajima. Okajima's enjoyed a nice season this year by hitting .270 with the 6 homers and 34 RBIs, as he is waiting here on the offering from Yamamoto. As the right-hander gets his sign and he's ready to go back to work. Here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and missed. And the count now goes to a ball and 2 strikes. That pitch there, it looked like it was a combination maybe of a split finger pitch or of a sinker, as the ball had a lot of arm side run to it. So here comes the 1-2 offering as the right-hander works to the set position. He checks the runner and delivers. Fastball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Okajima. As we mentioned, all 3 games in this series is what we will call this weekend. The other 2 games, tomorrow and Sunday evening North American time, will go off at 9 p.m. Pacific or midnight Eastern. Our friend Zay is in the house, and we welcome you into the channel, Zay. Thank you for being here. We called some games earlier in this week here, and haven't really decompressed a lot since I came back from Japan. I had a bit of an issue with my ear, as there's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. My flight from Korea to Japan, or Japan to Korea, it was a short flight, but it felt like it was the longest of any of the ones that I had flown. Absolutely, my ear felt like it was going to explode. Never had that feeling before. And it hung in for about a week after, but now we're starting to come around. Back to some normalcy here. Here comes the 2-2 pitch as the right-hander kicks and fires. Fastball swung on, chopped up the middle, fielded by Kobayashi. They go to second for 1, back to first, and it's not going to be in time. That's going to be a fielder's choice. It's going to erase Asamura for the first out. That's going to be a fielder's choice, 6-4 for the first out of the inning. And that will keep the runner at first base, and with 1 out, bring Toshiki Abe to the plate. Our friend Joe is in the house. We haven't seen Joe Mao in a while, and we welcome you here. He asked the question, he says, "Is this star pitcher throw a lot of pitches every start?" It's a kind of a loaded question, Joe. To answer that, he is one of those type of pitchers who can throw every start, but sometimes the dictates of the ball game or how the ball game is dictated will mean if they're taking him out, if they've got a healthy lead. Fastball that misses down. But generally speaking, he is one of those pitchers who can ratchet it up around 100 pitches or more per ball game. It's not really a definitive answer to your question, but yes, he is a workhorse. 1 ball and no strikes to Abe, as the right-hander checks the runner over at first, which is Okajima. Here comes the offering, and the pitch is a breaking ball that just misses. The count now goes to 2-0. Not only did it buckle the knees of the hitter, it buckled the knees of the catcher too, but upon review, I have to say that pitch did look like it missed down, so below the knees of the catcher and the hitter. So 2 balls and no strikes to Abe as the right-hander Yamamoto ready to deliver again. He works to the set. And here's the 2-0. That's a fastball that missed down. It's now 3-0. As we mentioned, this year in 143 innings, he's only walked 24 batters. So basically, you're looking at almost a batter every 6 innings. That's getting into the Greg Maddux type territory. Yamamoto has great control, but he is behind 3-0 here to Abe as he steps off and feigns a throw to first base, and getting back easily is Okajima. So 3 balls and no strikes it is. As we mentioned, we are going to be back on the airways, these same 2 teams tomorrow night, but it'll be an earlier start. And also will be a earlier start on the Sunday, as it is 9 o'clock on the West Coast, 9 o'clock Pacific. And now time has been called as Yamamoto steps off the backside of the rubber. It looks like that there's a ball loose on the field. Not sure where that one came from. Maybe from the Golden Eagles pitcher playing catch down the in front of the dugout. Ball boy retrieves that, and we're ready to resume the action. So 3 balls and no strikes as Abe digs in. Yamamoto checks the runner Okajima at first, and he works to the set. Here's the 3-0 offering as he kicks and delivers a fastball that's taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count goes to 3-1. Outside of Asamura, there is a little bit of pop in the lineup as Ogo has 9 homers on the year, and Tatsumi has 8, but nobody that is or gone off and was running with Asamura this year like Hiroshi Shimouchi did last year. Shimouchi, as we said in the first inning, had really struggled this year. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses down and away, and that's going to be ball 4 as Abby is going to get himself a walk. That's going to put runners at first and second. That's going to bring up the center fielder in Ryosuke Tatsumi. Journeyman asked the question if anybody knows besides playing where you can watch the game. And we've started putting a list together on our membership page for those people who are looking for links, depending on where you're at in the country, if you're in the States or other parts of the globe, as we have some information to that. We are not clogging up the chat with that here tonight, but you're welcome to take a look at that as needed. So here comes the offering from the right-hander as he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses outside, but the home plate umpire goes up with the right hand. And it's quickly no balls and 1 strike to Tatsumi. Joe Mao asked the question, how many pitches does he have already? He's at 27. Generally, the rule of thumb is 15 pitches per inning is what the pitchers try to work off of, or at least the pitching coaches try to instill in their arms. There's a fastball swung on. This ball lifted foul down the left field line. It's going to get into the netting. The count is 0-2. Of course, that's going to ebb and flow. Sometimes you can get out of an inning in 10, 11 pitches, and sometimes it's going to take you 20 to get out of the inning. But generally, the rule of thumb is 15 per inning is a goal. And so for that type of stuff, 7 innings in the NPB gets you to 105 pitches. And certainly compared to Major League Baseball, where 90 seems to be the watermark, the starters in the NPB can get to 110, 120 easily. Here's the 0-2. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats down the third base line, and the count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. It was a good pitch there by Yamamoto, and also a good decision there by Tatsumi to have to do that. Our friend the Journeyman asked the question, thoughts on Hanshin winning the pennant? They've really been the best team in the Pacific or in the Central League for the entire season. I only got a chance to see them play once in this last bit, as we saw them play the Tigers at the dome in Tokyo, the Tokyo Dome, as that fastball misses upstairs. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. And I really like some of the pieces to that puzzle. I like Morishita, the rookie, in right field. I like Sato, that he's playing third base. Chikamoto in center field. It's a nice team, but I will say this. They're the favorite of Osaka. They're the Osaka's team. The Buffaloes are not. The Buffaloes have a hard time with their fan base and getting people to the games. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into foul territory down the third base line. There's going to be room for Mune. He's there and he's going to haul it in, and that's going to retire Tatsumi for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone, and that's going to bring up the shortstop, Itsuki Moribayashi. So just back to my thoughts on the Tigers. The Tigers might be the best team in the NPB, but I don't know if they're the deepest. And if they end up facing the Buffaloes in the final, which they could be on a collision course for if both teams end up winning their respective leagues, even though the favorite or the fan favorite is the Tigers, I have to say the Buffalo team is a very deep team, both on the mound and at the stick. So it'll be an interesting clash between those two clubs if they made it to the finals. There's a first pitch fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field. Coming hard is the left fielder, Akita. He makes the catch, and that's going to do it. Well, the Eagles, they threaten, but they don't score as they leave a couple of runners aboard. There was no runs in the inning. There was no hit. There was, check that, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left aboard. And your score here as we move to the bottom of the second inning is the Eagles no score and the Buffaloes no score. Our friend Dinger asked the question, where can you bet on an NPB pitcher for strikeouts? I'll defer that over to Joe Mao so he can answer your question for you, because I think Dinger would be interested in laying a few bets on that. We'll be back in just a few, everybody. Appreciate you guys for jumping in with us tonight. It is Last Drops Baseball YouTube channel calling Eagles and Buffaloes. Nothing as we move to the bottom of the second. We'll be back in 30 with all the action in a little bit after this.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the last half of the second inning, and it's going to be the heart of the Buffalo batting order to come to bat to face Takayuki Kishi. That means it is going to be Kai Nakagawa, Yuma Mune, and Kotaro Kobayashi, the 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Nakagawa on the season hitting .269 with 12 homers and 50 runs batted in. Batting here from the right side against Kishi, who kicks and delivers a breaking ball that misses upstairs for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. So there you have your question there, Dinger. The Underdog app, he says, pick 'em on strikeout for all pitchers in the league. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's a breaking ball, take it for a called strike. The count is 1-1. Just a general note for everybody that listens in here. One of the apps that's big amongst the Japanese people in Japan for the NPB, as that fastball is swung on, this ball is lifted into left field. Moving over underneath it is the left fielder Okajima. He's going to make the catch. Nakagawa is going to be retired for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. I'll bring up Yuma Mune. Sports Navi is a app that the Japanese folks use for the in-game information on the players. The problem I had is I couldn't download the app from the stuff I have. If you probably had a VPN and you can disguise yourself, you could probably get the app. But it wasn't available through my app store. There's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is 1-0 to Mune. But Sports Navi does everything with the live, much like you would see a Major League Baseball game with the MLB. They've got the pitch-by-pitch. Gives you all the information on all the players as they come to bat. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count's 1-1 to Mune. So I'm not sure about in the United States, and I'm not sure about certain service providers. Certainly, that is where we're restricted there. There's a fastball taken thigh high for a called strike. The count is 1-2 to Mune. Mune not having the best of seasons that he's enjoyed over the last couple of years. His average is down about 30 some odd points from last year as he takes that fastball outside. The count's 2-2. The only time I got to see the Buffaloes play was in Kobe. And unfortunately for Mune, he was involved in 2 of the 3 errors the Buffaloes made that night against the Saitama Cebu Lions. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted down the left field line, and it's just going to slice foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mune, generally a reliable, steady third baseman. And on top of that, he's been pretty steady with the stick over the last couple of years, but not so much this year. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as Kishi ready to go again. He rocks into the windup and he delivers it. It is a fastball swung on. This is lined down the left field line, and the count remains at 2-2. Joe Mao says Sports Navi, spelled like that. And I think you've got it right there, Joe. Sports Navi, like as in navigation. Here comes the 2-2 pitch as the right-hander kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted down the right field line. If it stays fair, it's going to be trouble, and it is. It's off the wall. Rounding first and heading for second is Mune, and he's going to cruise in with a 1-out double. That's going to be the first hit here for the Buffaloes this evening. And that is going to bring up the shortstop, Kotaro Kobayashi. We got our friend Influence in the house tonight. He was in here last night. Joe said it's all in Japanese, and he can't read it. And that's why the app needs to have a translator involved with it. So if you can flip it over and use the translate, or if you've got a translate feature to be able to do it, that is correct, Joe. It's all in Japanese. So runner at second is Mune. That brings Kotaro Kobayashi to the plate. Kobayashi, batting for the first time tonight, takes a fastball outside for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Kobayashi hitting .265 on the season with 8 homers and 31 runs driven in. He's enjoying himself a nice season this year as he has taken his game at the plate to another level. And just think about it, he's still just a youngster, only 21 years of age. Here comes the 1-0 offering. Fastball misses down, and the count is 2-0. It seems like he's been around forever. But yet, not so. And he's also been up and down in the batting order a little bit this year, too, where last year when we watched, you could pretty much guarantee he was batting 8th or 9th. This year here, he's even been hitting in the 3 spot. This is his 4th year in the NPB. As we said, it seems like he's already been around forever. He's only 21 years old. Here comes the 2-0 pitch as the right-hander checks the runner at second. And now he delivers. It's a fastball that misses down and away, and it's now 3-0 to Kobayashi. The second baseman, Ryo Adachi, waits his turn on deck. And when you think of players that have not had good years, Adachi is one of them. He was hurt to begin the year, and he has not been able to get himself in sync offensively and all for the Buffaloes. So with him in the lineup tonight, Watanabe and Akita, there's 3 what I would call weak links in the lineup for the Buffaloes. There's a fastball taken for a called strike on the outside corner, and the count goes to 3-1 on Kobayashi. That pitch there looked like it was a little bit off the outside corner, but Kishi gets himself a call at 3-0. That's maybe the veteran 38-year-old earning that over his 21-year-old junior at the plate. Here's the 3-1 pitch as he checks the runner at second base. Mune has the lead, and now he delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. He's going to run the count full now to Kobayashi. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. As we mentioned, not just tonight, that will be on the airwaves tomorrow, the same time, same place, and on Monday, which is Japan time, or Sunday night in North America. And then we'll add some extra games to the slate. I have a feeling we're going to be looking at the Eagles and the Hawks because that is going to be the most interesting matchup. That is going to dictate whether or not the Eagles will be able to catch Fukuoka or not. There's a fastball swung on, and it's fouled away by Kobayashi, and the count remains at 3-2. It's either going to get them right back in the race or it's going to bury them. And so we'll be adding that to the slate, and then we'll play it by ear from there. We were looking at a Central League matchup later in the week, and I believe it was going to be the Carp and the Bay Stars were going to be going at it against each other. But I'll have to do my homework, and we'll have to put up the games as such. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. As Kobayashi waits here on the offering from Kishi, who checks Mune back to second, and now delivers. Breaking ball swung on, taps slowly over to third. They check Mune back to second. The throw is in the dirt, and it gets away from the first baseman, Abbey. Advancing over to third is going to be Mune, and safe at first is Kobayashi. He's going to reach there. That's going to be a throwing error on the third baseman. In that situation, that is going to be the third baseman, Hiroto Kobakata. Kobakata, not always a regular third baseman. He saw him play a lot of short last year in second. Also a little bit of left field this year, but he throws that ball in the dirt, unable to make the play. So that puts runners at the corners with 1 gone, and it brings the second baseman, Ryo Adachi, to the plate. So no Maikel Franco in the lineup tonight for the Golden Eagles. It's a bit of a hard throw if you've never played the sport, or if you've never played the game, or if you've never played that position maybe. The best way to describe the throw from third base is almost like a javelin thrower. You got to field the ball. You got to almost become straight up, and you got to fire it across the infield. It's a little different arm slot than you would have from a shortstop or second baseman position. And certainly to be able to make that throw. So when you have somebody like Kobakata, who's played in the middle infield, and you move him over to third base, if you're not taking regular reps over there, it could be a bit of a hassle. So here comes the first offering to Adachi, and it's a fastball that catches the outside corner for called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Influence says right on third to first. Yeah, they got runners at the corners. The journeyman asked the question, when's Yamamoto eligible to go to the MLB? Well, the word on the street is he's going to be posted after this season. So a lot of executives, a lot of scouts in there looking, and I think that he's a younger version of Kodai Senga, because there's certainly a difference in age gap, as Adachi squares to bunt, and he bunts that one foul down the first base line, and the count now goes to 0-2. So it looked like it was going to be almost like a safety squeeze. Mune was getting down the line. The runner at first was going to second. He was in motion. So runners are on the corners here with one gone. Adachi here at the plate, no balls and 2 strikes. Marwin Gonzalez waits his turn on deck. As he waggles the bat, waiting on the offering here from the right-hander who's ready to go again. He works to the set position. And the 0-2 offering ready to get on the way. And the pitch is a fastball that misses way outside. The count now goes to 1-2. Dinger says Yamamoto will be a Met. And you know what, Dinger, I have to tell you that if I was placing a bet on that today for a futures, that would be the team I would be putting money on. They've got money to spend, and he's young enough, and certainly with Senga already there, he would be a huge coup for the New York Mets. I'm sure there's other teams that will drive the price up. Certainly, I think the Red Sox will be in the mix. They need starting pitching. Fastball misses upstairs. The count is 2-2. And never count the Yankees out. Our friend Joe wants to know how many pitches so far for Kishi. 33 here for the right-hander. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The other thing with regards to Kishi, I would say that I would be shocked if he got more than 6 innings tonight. I would say he's probably going to be done after 5 or 6 if he can get that far. Here's the 2-2. It's a breaking ball swung on. It's lifted foul into the seats down the first base line. The count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. He just kind of threw his bat out at the ball, did Adachi, and hoped that it would hit it. And as that ball is sliced off into the stands. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mune at third, Kobayashi at first. Buffaloes are threatening here. As the error by the third baseman, Kobakata has opened the door up here for them to produce some offense. Here's the 2-2. Fastball swung on and fouled away. It reaches the seats over on the first base side again. The count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're looking forward to a lot of NPB action down the stretch here. And so hopefully everybody that jumps in with us tonight will come on back in again for the ones tomorrow and all the rest of the way. Excited to be at the helm here, giving you guys the call. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as Kishi works to the set. And now he's ready to go again. He kicks and he fires. It's a breaking ball swung on it. His top slowly over to third. Kobakata fields it. His only play is to first. Yumamune is going to score as he was running on contact. That's going to be the first run of the ball game. Mune cashes in. Adachi's ground out goes 5-3. He's out for the second out of the inning. Kobayashi advances into scoring position at second base. And now it is a 1-0 Buffalo lead here in the last half of the second inning. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Marwin Gonzalez. Well, for Gonzalez on the season, he's hitting .211. He's got 9 homers and 27 runs batted in. The former super utility player has bounced all around the infield and sometimes outfield for the Buffaloes. One would have to think that this will be the twilight of his career as breaking balls taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. I'd be shocked to see if he gets a job again in the NPB next year. I don't know if the batting average or if he's lost enough or just can't quite get it done. But he is definitely being able to help this ball club here because of his versatility. Here's the 0-1 pitch as Kishi checks the runner, now delivers. Breaking ball waved out and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes it is. On the run here, led by the Kobakata era at third base. As an unearned run here that have got the Buffaloes on the board in the second inning. 1-0. they have the lead. 2 gone here in the second as the right-hander Kishi checks the runner. As he checks him again, and now he's ready to go. Here's the pitch. Fastball that misses inside. The count goes to 1-2 on Gonzalez. Our friend Mick is in the house tonight. And we appreciate you for being here. Our friend the Journeyman says, what games are you going to do tomorrow? We're going to stay with this series for tomorrow and for Sunday night. Those will go at 9 o'clock Pacific and midnight on the East Coast, depending upon where you're located. As we sit at the top of the stream, we're going to try to call games that we possibly can that are competitive or mean something. As that breaking ball misses down and in, the count is 2-2. And certainly for the Eagles, they are on the outside of the playoffs looking in. And the Buffaloes are looking to clinch the top spot. They have the magic number of 7 games, combination of their wins and Marine losses will ice it for them. So as long as both of these teams have something to play for, we'll continue to call those games. And then there's also the other thing that is my own time. I have to make sure that we don't have any conflicts behind the scenes, so we'll have to path that out as well. But that's generally what we'll be looking at, is the games that are going to be in position for playoff spots, but not just playoff spots, but also where they're jockeying for position. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as the right-hander checks the runner at second. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball, swung on and missed. And that is going to do it. Gonzalez is down on strikes for the 3rd out of the inning. They do get a run in the inning, do the Buffaloes. It was a run, and there was 1 hit. There was an error, and there were 1 runner left aboard. So we've got ourselves through 2 complete. Your score is the Buffaloes 1 and the Eagles no score. We'll be back with the call at the top of the 3rd in just a couple moments. Appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight. You're listening to the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel, giving you the Buffaloes and the Golden Eagles. We'll be back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the top of the 3rd inning, and it's going to be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters in the batting order, as it will be Sumitani, Kobakata, and Ogo to come to bat to face Yoshinobu Yamamoto for inning number 3. Our friend Mick says that the Eagles have done way better than last year. Well, I'm not sure about that. The Eagles last year, they rattled off at one stage in the early part of the season in the month of May about a 15-game win streak. They were playing fantastic baseball through the first 2.5 months of the 2022 campaign, and then they couldn't have played any worse down the stretch, as they were absolutely abysmal. There's a first pitch fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Sumitani. For our friend Joe, who's listening in, 32 pitches through the first 2 innings for Yoshinobu Yamamoto. So 1 over my target goal of 15 per inning, which he's at 16 per. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to Sumitani. But the Golden Eagles have started the season off playing like they were last year, and I thought the manager Ishii would be in some trouble, as there's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lined softly over to the second baseman, Adachi, who makes the catch. And that is going to retire Sumitani for the 1st out of the inning. He's gone for out number 1, and that's going to bring up the top of the order in Hiroto Kobakata. Well, for Kobakata tonight, he is 0 for 1. He hit the ball on the screws, and he hit that ball right to the first baseman, Marwin Gonzalez, his first time up. For a line out, here's the first pitch. It's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Our friend the Journeyman asked the question, who's your favorite NPB team? To be honest with you, I don't have a particular favorite. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is going to be lined over the head of the second baseman. It's going to get down for a base hit as Kobakata has got himself a single. So he is aboard here with one gone, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Yuya Ogo. But back to our friend the Journeyman, who says, who's my favorite NPB team? Don't have anybody that I particularly enjoy or a particular team. I like the way certain teams have been playing. I like the way certain teams will do things. I also like certain aspects of certain teams. Got a chance to see the Giants play 5 times when we were in Japan. Got a chance to see the Carp play 4 times. I like the Carp's pitching staff. They're starting pitching. And I think if there's anything that can carry them into the playoffs or give them a run, it would be their starters. Here comes the offering to Ogo. It's a fastball swung on it. It is hit to straightaway center field. Camping out underneath it and making the grab is Nakagawa. And he is going to make the catch, and that is going to return, make the second out of the inning. Our friend Joe says, do I live in Japan? Nope, we don't live in Japan. We just spent almost 3 weeks there. Just got back last week. Good time to go to Japan if you haven't been. I'm not sitting here pounding my fist. The costs are affordable for the North Americans who are looking to travel. Food, very inexpensive. Hotels, very inexpensive. The most expensive part is the flight to get there. Once you're there, it's pretty easy peasy. So here comes Hiroki Shimouchi to the plate as he bats with a runner at first and 2 gone. And the first pitch is swung on. This ball is lifted into center field. And this ball is going to get down for a base hit. And Shimouchi's got himself a single. Stopping at second is Kobakata. And the Eagles have got something brewing here with 2 gone. That's going to bring up the second baseman, Hideto Asamura. Well, for Asamura on the evening, he is 1 for 1. He was erased on a fielder's choice in the second inning. He bats here with 2 aboard and 2 gone. So as I said, for the North Americans, if you get that opportunity right now, your dollar is stretching you far in Japan. It never used to be that way. A number of years ago, it used to be the other way around. It used to be that the yen was hard for people to go because it was just so expensive in Japan. And to put it in perspective, you can get yourself a night hotel at a Best Western. There's a fastball that just misses outside. So using a North American standard, I stayed at a Best Western in Osaka for 9 nights. And it would have set me back in the neighborhood of about 450 US. And you can't get that anywhere down the I-5 here between here and Portland, I can tell you that much. That kind of money, you're getting to sleep next to the roaches. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is 1-1. So from a housing standpoint or a hotel standpoint, when you're looking at about less than $50 a night, that's incredible. And certainly in Tokyo, to be able to get that type of rate and get breakfast every morning, it makes it even a better deal. So here comes the 1-1 pitch as the right-hander works to the set. Now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded over to through the 6-hole into left field. And the throw is coming into the plate, and rounding third and scoring the run to tie the ball game is going to be Kobakata. That's going to be a single and an RBI for Asamura. Ball just got past the outstretched arms of Kobayashi as the shortstop couldn't make the play. And now we are all locked up at ones as Kobakata has come around to score. We got ourselves a 1-1 ball game now as Shimouchi is going to stop at second as that ball was cut off. And so it is a 2-out rally, as our friend Zay says. So runners at first and second. Shimouchi at second, Asamura at first. And that is going to bring up the left fielder, Takiro Okajima. So 42 pitches now for the right-hander. It looked like he was cruising along here in the inning. He had 2 out and a runner on, but 3 hits here by the Eagles, and they are flapping their wings here against Yamamoto. And the first pitch breaking ball, it comes in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Joe Mao asked the question, are there more beautiful girls there or in America? I have to tell you, Joe, there are beautiful women everywhere in the world. You just have to look. So are they more beautiful or less beautiful? I guess that depends on everybody's own desires. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is grounded up the middle off of the pitcher into center field. Rounding second and heading home is Shimauchi, and the Eagles are going to take a 2-1 lead here as Okajima has delivered a base hit. That ball there was up the middle, and it looked like it may have caught the pitcher Yamamoto. Ended up the middle, and Ryo Adachi, the second baseman, he's limping. So I'd like to see what his deal is as he tried to get to that ball. But that ball gets up the middle for a base hit. He's going to get an RBI, is Okajima. Shimauchi comes all the way around to score. Eagles have now got a 2-1 lead. And the pitching coach is made his way out to the mound to talk to Yamamoto. We're going to look at the replay on this one. It was grounded right back up the middle. Actually, it just got under the glove of the pitcher. It was Adachi who went full Superman airborne to his right to try to knock that ball down, but he couldn't keep it in the infield. If he would have been able to make that play, it might have held Shimauchi at third. But now that's going to put two runners on. It's going to put runners at first and second with two gone, and that is going to bring up the first baseman, Toshiki Abe. So here comes the first offering as the right-hander checks the runner at second base. And now delivers. It is a fastball swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side. The count is 0-1. Our friend Joe asks if the Star is struggling today. No, he's throwing strikes. A couple of plays here defensively that probably could have helped him out to get out of this inning. He's certainly not walking the yard, and that's one thing is that he is around the zone. But one thing I have noticed about Yamamoto in previous starts, he always has this one inning where he gets himself into some trouble. And then if you can't get to him there, then he's really tough the rest of the night. This might be that one inning as that fastball misses inside. Counts even at 1-1. The last pitch was at 94 miles an hour. So 2-1, the Eagles have the lead over the Buffaloes as they've cashed in two here in the third inning. Certainly a lot of people will be biting their nails on the over-under for 5 innings. As the 1-1 pitch is on the way, Yamamoto delivers fastball swung on. It's lifted foul into the netting down the right field line, and the count is 1-2. Joe says he's got him under 7Ks, so he's pumping a fist for the pitch count to rise. What I would say tonight is I don't know if this is Yamamoto's best stuff. He does have good velocity, but I haven't seen the movement on some of his pitches that we've had in other nights. Here comes the 1-2 pitch as the right-hander checks the runner at second. And now delivers fastball swung on. It is chopped back to the pitcher. Yamamoto fields it. He fires to first. And that is going to do it as Abe's going to ground out 1-3 for the third out of the inning, but not until damage has been done. 2 runs in the inning for the Golden Eagles on the benefit of 4 hits. There was no errors and 2 runners left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom half of the third inning. Your score is the Eagles 2 and the Buffaloes 1. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back in just a few. We appreciate you guys for listening in with us tonight. Your score is Eagles 2, Buffaloes 1 as we move to the bottom of the third.
I've wanted to try this for a while. I want to try to make a wave. This is going to be the eye.
Welcome back, everybody. That's our friend Matt Hollis, who is inspired by doing some spray paint art after the game. Be sure to check out another Hollis build, or stay with us and watch what he's able to come up with, as he's got a few 30-second clips as he is creating himself a wave. It's the 9-1-2 batters to come to bat here for the Buffaloes in their half of the third inning, and the first pitch is on the way. It's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into shallow right field. Moving in on it is the right fielder, Ogo, and he makes the catch. And Akita is gone for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. It's going to bring up the top of the order in Yataro Sugimoto. My friend Joe asked the question about Kishi. How many pitches? Zay did point it out. Yeah, 41 pitches through the first 2 innings, which is a little bit on the high side for my liking. As I said, I would be surprised if Kishi, if he went much more than 5 innings in this game here. First pitch fastball, take it for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Kishi is got some really good control of his pitches. As we said, he has walked only 18 batters in 96 and a third innings entering tonight. Breaking ball misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. Just doesn't have the overpowering fastball and complementary pitches that he once had earlier in his career, does the 38-year-old. But he is able to keep the hitters off balance. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball swung on and fouled away down the right field line, and the count now goes to 1-2. Joe says he needs to continue here to the ball put in play. Actually, what you probably want is to see the pitch count ratcheted up with 7 and 8 and 9 pitch at bats. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2. Certainly another thing is maybe even to chase the pitcher through 5 innings. There's a breaking ball missing down again, and the count now goes to 3-2. For those of you who didn't see it tonight, it was a scary scene between the Pirates and the Yankees. Ji-Wan Bae, the outfielder for the Pirates, hit a ball back and hit Mishevitz, the reliever for the Yankees, in the head. And there's a breaking ball taken for a called third strike. Oh, Sugimoto stood there like the house by the side of the road. He watched that go by for out number 2. And that is going to leave it up to the right fielder, Harado Watanabe. But just getting back to that Ji-Wan Bae, he had lined a ball off the head of Mishevitz. He had to get carted off the field. He was rolling around in pain. They said he had hit him near the temple. It was over 100 miles an hour off the bat. But last update, we saw that from the hospital, it seems like he's doing okay. Here's the first pitch delivered to Watanabe. He squares the bunt but pulls back as it's a breaking ball low. The count is 1-0. Watanabe grounded out to second his first time up tonight. Average has dropped to 189 on the year. As the righty Kishi rocks into the windup and delivers a fastball that catches the inside corner for called strike, and the count is 1-1. Joe asked the question, how many does Kishi have? Strikeouts, that is. Yep, you are correct. He's got a pair. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted down the left field line. Moving over into foul territory, and with room and making the catch is Okajima. And that's going to do it here for the Buffaloes in their half of the third inning. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 3 complete. It is the Eagles 2 and the Buffaloes 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call of the middle frames when we return just after this. Appreciate you guys for listening in here with us tonight. We'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top half of the fourth inning, and it is going to be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters to come to bat here for the Golden Eagles. In their half of the fourth inning, that means Tatsumi, Moribayashi, and Sumitani to face Yamamoto here. Yamamoto has allowed 5 hits in his 3 innings of work. He has also walked 1 and struck out 1. So he is ready to resume his action here. He has allowed a couple of runs in this one as well. Both of them have been earned, which is a bit strange on his part. There's a first pitch breaking ball that misses down to Tatsumi, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Tatsumi batting from the left side, as the pitch is a fastball that is swung on and lifted into the seats. Count is 1-1. Our friend Joe asked the question, is Kishi short for Rick Kishi? I have no idea. His last name is Kishi. The first name is Takayuki. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's a fastball swung on, and it is lifted into deep left field. Racing back and making a great over-the-shoulder catch is Akita as he takes it in on the warning track and runs up against the wall. Nice defensive play there by the left fielder, and Tatsumi is going to be retired for the first out of the inning. He hit that ball a good distance, and Akita got onto his horse, able to haul it in. And that is going to retire Tatsumi for the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Moribayashi. Friend Zay says, nice catch, and indeed it was. It was a beautiful over-the-shoulder catch as that first pitch fastball is taken inside for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Moribayashi 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to left field his first time up, as the right-hander delivers a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count goes to 0-2. Joe says he'll be living in the streets if Kishi goes over 5 strikeouts tonight. Yeah, it's not really his mantra at this point in his career. There's a fastball swung on. This is going to be looped into shallow right center field. It's going to be down for a base hit. And Moribayashi has got himself a single. That drives me crazy more than anything else. You've got the hitter at 0-2. It was way too good of a pitch from Yamamoto. That pitch was middle in. And the hitter did a nice job of keeping his hands inside the ball to be able to fight it off and loop it into center field for a base knock. Moribayashi aboard with the single, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Jinjiro Sumitani. And for Sumitani, he's 0 for 1 tonight. He lined out to the second baseman for the first out of the last inning. So 0 for 1 tonight for him. Yamamoto checks the runner over at first, which is Moribayashi, and now he works to the set position. And squaring to bunt is the catcher here with 1 gone. And he bunts that one foul as it's down around home plate and squirts over to the third base side. So count is 0 balls and 1 strike. So Tani will be followed by Hiroto Kobakata. So interesting here that they're putting the bunt on even though there's 1 out. Although Kobakata's had a couple of pretty good swings here tonight. That might be the thinking by the manager Ishii here. So again, squaring to bunt is Sumitani as the right-hander works to the set. As he kicks and delivers, this ball is bunted down, and it comes up and hits Tomoya Mori right in the side of the head. The catcher for the Buffaloes had to wear that one. As we see that go down, it went right down and boom, right up off of the side of the ear on the left side. That's going to run the count now to 0-2 to Sumitani. So 2 opportunities to get bunt down, and he's had no success on either. He's going to have to do this one here again. Let's see if they're going to bunt him with 0-2. He's already squaring around, so I think we have our answer there. Got to get the ball in play and got to do your job. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. And now he pulls back and he slashes, and that ball is grounded foul past the third base coach's box, and the count remains at 0-2. Zay says right in the ear. That's exactly where it was. That's the worst feeling, too, because he's probably feeling like he's got a cauliflower ear after that, whereas feels like your ear is blown up on you. So no balls and 2 strikes. Again, he squares the bunt. We'll see if he is going to get it down or if he's going to pull back and slash again. 0-2, he does pull back and he swings, and this one's going to be fouled off down the right field line. The count now is going to remain at no balls and 2 strikes. So no balls and 2 strikes to Simitani. Runner at first, Murray Biashi, 1 gone here in the 4th inning. 2-1 lead for the Eagles as Yamamoto works to the set position. Again squaring to bunt. Again pulling back. And this one is going to be hit foul just on the third base line. It looked like it might have hung up for Yumamune. Had to wait on that. But he took it on the short hop in foul territory, and that's going to keep the count at no balls and 2 strikes. And we'll do this all over again. I don't think he's fooling anybody at this point. Squaring to bunt, pulling back. So Simitani again, squaring to bunt in this situation. Will he do it again? Here comes pitch number 60 for Yamamoto. As he kicks and delivers. Again, he pulls it back. And he checks his swing. They appeal down to first base. Simitani, it looked like he may have went around. They went to the first base umpire, but they say he didn't go. Oh, boy. The angle we had from behind the pitcher, I'm going to take a look at that one. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. Certainly the Buffalo's not getting a home call there. That's for sure. That's going to run the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes now here on Simitani. Again, squaring to bunt. Here comes the pitch, but instead Yamamoto fires over to first base, and he's picked off Murray Biashi at first base. He got the shortstop of the Eagles leading the wrong direction, and he's able to pick him off. And that is going to retire Murray Biashi for the 2nd out of the inning. Oh, boy, that's some boneheaded base running. Yeah, he was leaning the other way, got his feet tangled. They fired over, and he's retired for out number 2. It's going to get you some long looks on your way back to the dugout, that's for sure. And there is a fastball that is swung on and missed. It's in the dirt, fielded by Maury. He throws to first, and just like that, the inning is over. As that is the 3rd strikeout in the books here for Yamamoto tonight. Or check that. The 2nd strikeout for Yamamoto tonight. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now moving to the last half of the 4th inning. Your score is the Eagles 2 and the Buffaloes 1. Hang in there with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. We appreciate you guys for listening in. Nacho comes in and asks the question, who you got winning this game? Well, right now it's 2-1 Eagles, but if you were asking me before the game, I'd be looking at the Buffaloes all day long. We'll be right back after this.
All right, so I'm gonna finish this little beach scene.
That's right, everybody. When you get a chance, go check out Matt Hollis after the game. That's him doing a little bit of spray painting. That's another Hollis build. He's got all kinds of entertaining stuff on his channel. It is going to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters to come to bat for the Buffaloes here in the 4th inning. That means Tomoya Mori, Kai Nakagawa, and Yumamune to come to bat here in inning number 4 for the Buffaloes as they find themselves down 2-1 at this point. So Mori ready to go here as he digs himself in. It's got to be one of the better names, Nacho. If he had cheese at the end, it would be nacho cheese, of course. Here's the first offering from Kishi, and it's a fastball that misses down for a ball, and the count is 1-0 to Mori. 51 pitches through 3 innings for Kishi as he rocks into the windup and delivers. And the pitch is a fastball swung on, and it's grounded foul just over on the first base line. Mori steps out, bangs his bat to check to see if he had broken it, but looks like it's going to survive that foul ball. 1 ball and 1 strike to the Buffaloes catcher. They brought him in for the leadership and for his bat. And Mori is certainly got both helping him out. They really haven't skipped a beat on the loss of Masataka Yoshida of the Buffaloes. They found their offense in other ways. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2. Certainly Mori picking up the slack, but then he's not in the lineup tonight, but Yuma Tongu has really evolved as a player for the Buffaloes, and his bat has really played out. So between Tongu and Mori, they have more than picked up the slack for the loss of Yoshida's numbers. There's a fastball grounded foul over on the first base side. The count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. As I mentioned, probably the team that feels it the most is the Saitama Cebu Lions, who miss out on Mori. Fastball that just misses on the outside corner, and the count now goes to 2-2 on the Buffalo catcher. Right-hander ready to go again as he rocks into the windup, and he kicks, and he delivers. A breaking ball swung on. This ball's lifted into right field, and it's going to get down for a base hit in front of the right fielder, Ogo. So a leadoff single here for Mori as he's aboard here, and that's going to bring up the center fielder, Kai Nakagawa. Zay says, no Leandro Cedeno tonight. Doesn't look like it. He had a really nice stretch there where he played some pretty good ball. I didn't see him in the lineup when I was in Kobe a couple of weeks ago. He wasn't part of that group. So be curious to see what their plans are for him. Obviously, Marwin Gonzalez being in the lineup tonight. And as I said before, if I had to give some information with regards to these clubs here, the 2 Osaka-based clubs, I just think the Buffaloes are deeper than the Tigers. Tigers might be the better team, pound for pound, top heavy, but I just think the Buffaloes are a deeper group. It'd be interesting to see if they could both get to the Japan series. It's the first pitch that missed outside to Nakagawa for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes as the right-handed hitting center fielder waits on the offering here from Kishi. As he steps off the mound and feigns the throw to first, our friend B-Baller in the house tonight. We welcome you into the stream. Nice to have you back. Thanks for popping in. He says he's been in this live in a minute. Oh, it's great to have you here. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to Nakagawa as the right-hander works to the set. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It has popped up behind home plate. That is going to reach the seats as the catcher, Simatani, had no interest in chasing it. 1 ball and 1 strike to Nakagawa. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As the right-hander gets himself a new baseball and he's ready to go back to work. Nakagawa digs himself in. He waggles the bat here, waiting on the offering from Kishi, who checks the runner. And now he kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and Nakagawa is in the hole now at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kai Nakagawa. Good night for baseball, as it is a full slate of games across the NPB tonight. We'll get you caught up on those ones on the out-of-town scoreboard in just a couple moments. Only a couple of games that will go off later this evening. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted down the right field line. Giving chase is the right fielder, Ogo, but he's not going to be able to get it as it slices into the seats. And that's going to keep the count at 1-2 on Nakagawa. Scores from around the NPB tonight. Other game in the Pacific League has the Marines with a 5-1 lead. That's in the bottom of the 7th inning already against the Lions at the Balluna Dome. All those Lions, they're really limping these days. I wonder what the attendance on that one is. They were hurting during the week. They haven't announced the attendance yet on that, but they were below 14,000 a couple of times. Gishi ready to go back to work. Here comes the offering now to Nakagawa as he checks the runner and delivers. It's a fastball that backs Nakagawa off the plate, and the count now is 2-2. Other scores from around the NPB, the Dragons are beating the Giants 1-0 in the top of the 5th inning. Last night, all the teams that were in playoff contention that needed to win in the Central had to win and did win. Giants, Carp, and Bay Stars all doing the job there. Tonight, 2 of the 3 teams of the games that are underway are losing. The Tigers are beating the Carp 3-0 in the top of the 4th at the Mazda Stadium in Hiroshima. As Kishi throws over to first, and retreating back to the bag is Mori. As we said, 3-0 Tigers over the Carp. The late games tonight in the Pacific League, the Hawks are at Escon Field to play the Fighters, and the Bay Stars are going to be playing the Swallows in Tokyo. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is popped up foul. It's going to reach the seats down the third base line, and the count remains at 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nacho says Trevor Bauer is his favorite player by far. Unfortunately, Trevor Bauer may be done for the year. That game against the Tigers a week and a half ago, he came off the mound to make a play down the third base line, and it looks like a hip flexor injury, and they say he's going to miss the rest of the regular season and possibly all of the playoffs. Big blow for the Bay Stars. Here's the 2-2. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is popped up behind home plate. Giving chase is Simitani. Does he have room? But no, it's going to just hit the netting. It's going to keep the count at 2-2 to Nakagawa. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yumamune waits his turn on deck here. Kishi already up to 64 pitches. Joe is really counting it here. This is going to be pitch number 8 of the at-bat. And that's what you want, Joe. You want these marathon at-bats, 7, 8, 9 pitches to really ratchet the count up. And here comes the 2-2 pitch. As the kicks and delivers, it's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow right center field. Moving in on it is the center fielder, Tatsumi, and he's got room to make the catch. Nakagawa is going to be retired for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone, and that's going to bring up the third baseman, Yumamune. The other thing with regards to Kishi, he just doesn't have that knockout punch in his repertoire anymore. He just can't seem to throw a pitch that's going to be able to put the hitters away. I say that in this situation because he just can't quite get over the hump to bury the hitters. As the right-hander ready to go back to work, he works to the set. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count quickly goes to 0-1 on Yumamune. Mune tonight, 1 for 1. He doubled with 1 gone in the second inning and came around to score the only run so far for the Buffaloes. Batting here from the left side against the right-handed throwing Kishi. As the right-hander holds set. Now he kicks and fires. There is a fastball swung on it. Breaks the bat of Mune. Back to the pitcher it goes. And he fields it, does Kishi. He throws to first. Mune is going to be retired. Ground out 1-3 for the second out. Mori is going to advance over to second. I think the barrel of the bat went further than the ball. We'll get a look at the replay ourselves. That barrel went all the way down toward first base. And Kishi was able to field it. Slivers and splinters going everywhere else. Mune gone for the second out of the inning, and that's going to leave it all up to the shortstop, Kotaro Kobayashi. Nacho asked the question, if I'm a big gambler or if we just enjoy the game for what it is. I just enjoy the game for what it is. I don't really put too much on it. We do every once in a while, but nothing major. That's not really my thing. Well, guys, we've got the pitcher. Our friend Joe has just pumped the fist. Is Takayuki Kishi is walking off the mound with the trainer. The way they do it in Japan is they will go to the trainer's room first, examine him, and we'll take a look. The way that he's looking at his hand, this might be a blister situation. So if this is the case, that we may be seeing the end of Kishi here, but we'll have to take a look at this. We're getting the replay here. Ball was hit back to him, and as the ball was hit to him, it went off the glove and then off his fingers. And then he looked at second base, but he ended up getting the out over at first. And that's the way it goes. So, as I said, we'll have a little break here as they take him into the trainer's room to examine him. We'll have to take a look. Our friend, the journeyman, asked the question. I missed over on that. He says, who's the favorite to win the MVP this year? Well, in my opinion, the MVP race in the Pacific League is going to be up for grabs. I would think Yoshinobu Yamamoto, the pitcher, could be as the best player, but he also could maybe be in that MVP hunt. There's no real standout. There's nobody like last year where they're saying, hey, this guy really led the league in home runs, or this guy really did this to push himself over the top. Not at least in the Pacific League. When you think of the teams at the top part for the Buffaloes, there's no real offensive player that has, separated himself from everybody else on this ball club. They've got a very powerful club from top to bottom, but nobody that you could say, hey, you know what, this guy here, take him out of the lineup, the Buffaloes would be in trouble. When you look at the other teams, the Marines and everybody else, well, it looks like Takishi's coming back into the ball game as he is making his way out, although I wonder if they're going to ask to get a couple of pitches, and I think that's what it is, as the trainer and the pitching coach want to see how he delivers the ball here. So he is going to stay in the ball game for now unless they make a decision to take him out. They do have action going in the bullpen to the Eagles. Gets one warm-up toss. Let's see if he gets another one here. And I'll make the prediction that, yeah, he's going to be good to go. Let's see what they say. He's going to get another one. How many warm-up tosses do you need here? We've already delayed the game and ready to go. There's pitch number 3. What's he doing? Throwing his whole repertoire up to the dish. Here comes another one. Kind of grimaced a bit on that last pitch. So, yeah, he says he's good to go. And so we're ready to go. 4 warm-up tosses or tosses to make the determination that he's all right. Our friend Titus is in the house tonight. We appreciate you for popping in here, Titus. Thank you for being here. Our friend the journeyman asked the question, do we think that Munetaka Murakami will ever play in the MLB? I've got a chance to see him play live now in person, and I've also seen him play a lot on television or on the internet. As Kotaro Kobayashi stands in at the plate, I'll give you my thoughts on him in just a moment. Here's the first pitch. Fastball that misses down for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Kobayashi 0 for 1 tonight, reached on an error his first time up. It was the error by the third baseman, Kobakata. So with my thoughts on Murakami as a third baseman, I didn't like his footwork when I saw him a couple of years ago. To his credit, he's really improved his footwork around the bag at third base, but I don't know if he's got major league footwork to play third base. That fastball misses up. Count is 2-0. So that would probably push him over to the right side of the infield as more of a first baseman. Could he play first base in the big leagues? I think so. I just don't know where he would play. I think he's a higher end Yoshi Satsugo, who was bounced around quite a bit during his time in Major League Baseball, obviously with Tampa and the Dodgers and Blue Jays. I think San Francisco's recently signed him. He was with Texas. So he's a better player than Satsugo. Fastball misses upstairs. The count goes to 3-0 on Kobayashi. But exactly where he fits in, I don't know. I don't see him at least coming over on any of the, what I would call the big teams. I would say maybe some of the more mid-range type of teams in Major League Baseball. But then again, who's going to need a first baseman? And that's where you're going to have to start hunting and pecking and taking a look. But he does hit from the left side. So that in itself is a bonus. There's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count's now 3-1. Nacho says this is the only way to keep up with the game. Well, we do the best we can, and hopefully you guys are enjoying this. And we do have quite the group that makes it in here on the Saturday and Sundays. Not so much during the week, but that's okay. We'll do some of the weekday games when we can. Certainly between now and the end of the season, including the playoffs, we'll try to burn as much midnight oil as possible. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Fastball that just misses inside. That's going to be ball 4. Kirbyashi's going to draw himself a walk. That's going to put runners at first and second with 2 out. And it's going to bring up the second baseman, Ryo Adachi. And for Adachi, he is 0 for 1 tonight, but he has driven in a run. And now we have a full-on flock of Eagles on the mound as the pitching coaches come on out to talk to his starter, Kishi. Our friend Joe Mao in the stream tonight has probably pumped a fist knowing that Kishi's days on the mound here are going to be numbered. Our friend, the Journeyman, says we appreciate the support for you as well as Nacho. Hopefully we can give you guys as much as we can. We do call the occasional major league games sometimes, but we really only did about a half dozen to 8 this year. Just didn't have the time to be able to do that. So Adachi stands in 0 for 1 tonight with the ground out and an RBI. He's driven in the only run for the Buffaloes. Kishi checks the runner at second and now delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on, grounded over to third, taken by Kobakata. He steps on the base, and that is going to retire Tomoya Mori at third for the third out of the inning. And that will do it here for the Buffaloes. Well, they had no runs in the inning. They did have a hit. There was no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. Your score as we move to the top of the 5th inning, it is the Buffaloes trailing the Golden Eagles 2-1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back after this. Appreciate you guys for listening in here with us tonight. We'll be back in a few after this. Welcome back, everybody. That is our friend Matt Hollis, who just completed his spray paint art. If you want to see more of that stuff and all the other crazy things he does, check out another Hollis build. He is one of our supporters. It is going to be Yoshinobu Yamamoto who is getting onto the hill here for his 5th inning of work. Our friend Zay said it should be his last inning. I don't think Kishi, I think Kishi will come out for one more. I really believe that. He'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat for the Eagles. But I would say this, that if he had a little bit of a problem there, then he would probably be hooked pretty quickly. But I think he comes back out for at least one more inning for Tohoku. The other thing is just to keep an eye on, both teams had a night off last night. And so their bullpens got a chance to get a little bit of a rest as that fastball misses outside for a ball and the count is 1-0. These two teams did play a couple of nights ago in Tohoku, and the game went extra innings. And so from that standpoint, give their opportunity for their bullpens to have a little rest. Fastball, take it for a called strike. The count is 1-1 to Hiroto Kobakata. Kobakata, Ogo, and Shimauchi here, the top 3 hitters in the batting order for the Golden Eagles to face Yamamoto as that breaking ball misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1. Our friend Rob Cash jumps into the stream, and he says all kinds of questions going on. So the score is on the ticker that runs across the bottom of the screen, as is the inning, as that fastball misses outside, and the count now is 3-1. And if you just let us take you away on the call, you'll hear all of the situations as they happen. So here comes the 3-1 offering as Yamamoto rocks into the windup and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is going to be lined into center field. It's going to get down for a base hit, and it gets by Nakagawa. It's going all the way to the wall. Kobakata rounding second. He's heading to third, and he's going to reach third safely with a stand-up single and then a two-base error charge to Nakagawa. Unbelievable. So a single here for Kobakata, but he reaches third on the error by the center fielder. And the Buffaloes find themselves in trouble here, as that is going to be E8 in the books. The second error tonight made. That ball there, he played it into a short hop, did Nakagawa, and it ate him up. Or I should say into an in-between hop, and it ate him up. And ended up getting all the way to the wall. He had to run it down to get that back in. So now we've got a runner at third with nobody out. And one would have to think that the Buffaloes may be considering moving their infield in. We'll have to get a glimpse of this here in a minute. That brings Yuya Ogo to the plate. Ogo 0 for 2 in this one. He has struck out and he has flown out to center. The Buffaloes do have their infield in on the proverbial grass, although it is turf here at the Kyocera Dome. First pitch fastball that misses inside, and the count is quickly 1-0 to Yuya Ogo. Ogo batting here from the left side against the right-handed throwing Yamamoto. Gets himself dug in. The Eagles looking to extend their lead with the runner at third and nobody out. This is a golden opportunity for the Golden Eagles. Here's the 1-0. Fastball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 2-0. Hiroki Shimauchi and then Hideto Asamura to follow, as the second baseman, Ryo Adachi, comes in to give Yamamoto some words of encouragement. As a reminder, in the Pacific League, after the fifth inning is complete, we like to call it our Japanese halftime, as it is going to be an extended break. And we'll take a little extended break ourselves to refresh our drink. There's a pitch. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 3-0 on Ogo. Joe asked the question if anybody's up in the bullpen for the Buffaloes. The answer to that is no. There was somebody up for the Golden Eagles in that last half inning when Kishi had gone down the tunnel, but I'm not sure where that is. The bullpens in the Kyocera Dome are under the stands, and so the only way you get the odd glimpses via a television monitor here and there. Here comes the 3-0 pitch as the right-hander holds to the set, now delivers. Fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 3-1 to Ogo. But I would say right now at 70 pitches for Yamamoto, the chances of the bullpen getting hot now are slim to none. He's probably got at least another 30 to 40 pitches left in him before he retires for the night. I would not bat an eye if he got 7 innings out of the Buffalo starter. So here comes the 3-1 pitch as Ogo waits. He kicks and fires. It's a breaking ball that's waved at and missed. He took quite a bit off of that pitch. That pitch floated in at about 75 miles an hour. 3 balls and 2 strikes here to Ogo. And that's going to be the interesting part. He's going to power it up here, one would think. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Ogo. Runner at third, Kobakata. Nobody gone here in the 5th inning. As the right-hander works to the belt. And then he comes up to the chest. Yamamoto checks the runner. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is hit to deep right field. This should be deep enough to get the runner in from third. Tagging at third is Kobakata. Here comes the throw, and it's not going to get in time as Kobakata has crossed the plate. That's going to be a sacrifice fly to 9. It's going to be an RBI here for Ogo. He's going to cash in the 3rd run of the Golden Eagles here tonight. And now that is going to bring up the designated hitter, Hiroki Shimauchi. Well, for Shimauchi tonight, he is 1 for 2 in this one. He singled and scored a run his last time up. He's also flown out to right field. So 1 for 2 for Shimauchi. as the right-hander Yamamoto rocks into the windup and delivers. It's a first pitch fastball swung on. This ball's belted into deep right field. This ball could be trouble. Back on the warning track, leaping and making the grab up against the fence is the right fielder Watanabe. What a catch by the right fielder. He absolutely extends himself to make the grab, and that's going to retire Shimochi for the second out of the inning. Oh, he sent that to the deepest part of right field, but just not deep enough, as it couldn't clear the fence. Great catch by the right fielder, as Shimochi is in the books for the second out of the inning, and that's going to leave it all up to the second baseman, Hideto Asamura. That'll definitely be a highlight reel play for the right fielders. So if you're on Instagram after the ball game, be sure to check out the highlights that the Pacific League puts out. You got to think that that would be one of them. Shimochi feeling a little hard done by that one. That ball hit right to the deepest part. A nice leaping grab. It was probably about halfway to 60% up the wall. And the right fielder had to race back to get over. He gave himself the room and timed it right, as he was able to haul that one in for the second out of the inning. Well, that brings Asamura to the plate. Hideto Asamura 2 for 2 in this one tonight. He's got a couple of singles. I think they wanted to maybe take a look at this on the replay, maybe to see if he had trapped it off the wall, but we've seen that on multiple angles, and I don't think that is even close to being the case. Umpires that come out, and they're going up with the right hand, so a wasted challenge, as the Golden Eagles have lost a challenge in this situation. Nice play by the right fielder. So 2 gone here, and Asamura stepping to the plate, 2 for 2 tonight. As we said, he's got also driven in a run. But he bats here with the bases clear in the top of the 5th inning. 3-1 lead now for the Golden Eagles. Yamamoto rocking into the windup, and he's ready to deliver. And he kicks and fires. A fastball swung on. It is grounded. A nice diving play by the third baseman, Mune. He gets to his feet. He throws to first. Oh, that's a web gem. Back-to-back stellar plays by the Buffalo defense. And that's going to get Yamamoto out of the inning on a ground out, 5-3 for out number 3. Well, there was 1 run in the inning. There was also 1 hit. There was an error, and nobody left the board. We're now moving to the bottom of the 5th inning. Your score is the Golden Eagles 3 and the Buffaloes 1. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back with the bottom of the 5th inning when we return after this. Appreciate you guys for listening in here tonight. We'll be right back in just a few.
Hello? Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in. Check them out. Leave a like, tell other people. But Freddie's coming back. I gotta go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. In turn, we like to support Steve Rademacher. Be sure to check him out after the game. Kishi on for his 5th inning of work, and the first pitch is a breaking ball delivered to Marwin Gonzalez for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Gonzalez, Ikeda, and the top of the order is Sugimoto to bat here against Kishi in the last half of the 5th. 3-1 the scoreline as the Golden Eagles have the lead. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 0-2 to Marwin Gonzalez. I have to tell you that Kishi, he has had a decent pitch mix here tonight, really keeping the hitters off balance. As I said before, I'd be shocked if he could probably start the 6th. I'd be surprised if he finished the 6th inning. Here's the 0-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And pardon me, Gonzalez not even making an effort to run to first base. He's down on strikes and in the books for out number 1. So 1 gone here. That's the second time tonight he has struck out, the third strikeout into the books here for Kishi. And that brings up the left fielder, Ryoma Ikeda. Ikeda tonight is 0 for 1. He has flown to right field his only trip to the plate as he bats here against the right-hander. 1 gone in the 5th inning. His average has dropped to 182 on the year. He does not have a home run or an RBI, and he takes a first pitch fastball outside for a ball, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Kishi rocking into the windup and delivers. There is a fastball ticket for a called strike, and the count now goes even to 1-1. Right-hander ready to deliver again. He rocks and fires. It's a slow breaking ball, waved at and missed. Count now goes to 1-2 on Ikeda. Here in the bottom half of the 5th inning, 3-1 Golden Eagles over the Buffaloes. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there is a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lined into left field. It's going to be a base hit. Tried to sneak one too many breaking balls past Ikeda, and Ikeda was able to stay back and hammer that thing into left field. He's got himself a 1-out knock, and that brings up the top of the order in Yataro Sugimoto. And this is where I would have the concerns on Kishi, is that he is at the 80 pitch mark right now. He's probably got a lot of gas left in the tank. I would think he's going to get through the 5th inning here. We'll see how much he's able to do it. Sugimoto is a double play candidate. He doesn't run particularly well. 0 for 2 in this one as he struck out looking and grounded to short. Kishi checks the runner as he comes to the set. And now he's ready to go. He delivers a breaking ball that swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Sugimoto. Joe wants to know where Kishi is at in his pitch counts. He's just a little north of 80 right now. 81 to be exact. After this, then it's, who knows, I would say probably gets through this inning. I'd be shocked to see him back out for the 6th. But we'll have to wait and see what the Golden Eagles have up their sleeves. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Good night for baseball, as it is in the Dome Stadium, and pretty good crowd on hand at the Kyocera Dome, and it is a weekend game, so that will help the attendance streams, one would say. Usually better on the weekends in Osaka than during the week. Here comes the 1-1 pitch as the righty instead throws over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner Ikeda. They do keep their eye on Ikeda. He does have a stolen base this year, but as we said, he hasn't played a whole lot. So hard to determine what he can do. He can run a little bit based on his scouting reports. As the right-hander works to the set position. And now he kicks and he fires a fastball swung on and missed. And the count now goes to 1-2 on Sugimoto. Just having a quick peek here to see if we can pick any information up on the young Ikeda. Sometimes, as I mentioned before at the outset of the stream, able to pick up some information. They don't give the farm report as much as they do the NPB statistics. Gotta have to translate it out of Japanese the best I possibly can. And some of the translations can be quite humorous. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded foul past the bag at third base. Count is 1-2. I should say not because of the translations, but because of the literal meanings. So 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Sugimoto as he bats here with runner at first and 1 gone in the 5th inning. Buffalo fans are showing their support as their fists are moving here. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to the big fella. As the right-hander works to the set. And now he kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on and missed. Sugimoto went chasing, and he's down on strikes for the 2nd out of the inning. That's going to leave it up to the right fielder, Harado Watanabe. So our friend Joe, who's been keeping the close watch on the strikeouts here in this one, by our tally, that is number 4 in the books for Kishi. And Hataro Watanabe coming to the bat with 2 gone and a runner on first. So here we go. Here comes the first offering as Watanabe has grounded out and flown out in tonight's ball game. The pitch is on the way. It's a fastball swung on. It is popped up in the infield. It's playable. Moving over underneath it is Kobakata. He makes the catch, and that is going to retire Watanabe for the 3rd out of the inning. And we'll keep an eye on this if Ed is going to bring back Kishi in the next half inning. Well, there was no runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 5 complete, and as we like to say, it is the Japanese halftime. This is where they take the extended break, and we're going to take our break too. We're going to put our music on loop. We're going to be gone for a couple minutes. We'll be back when the game resumes in just a few. Hang tight, everybody. We appreciate you listening with us. It is 3-1 for the Eagles over the Buffaloes as we move to the top of the 6th. Welcome back, everybody. We are just waiting here. As we said, it is what we call the Japanese halftime, at least in the Pacific League, as they take an extended break. We'll get you caught up on scores from around the NPB. There are 2 late games that will go off later tonight, one in the Pacific and one in the Central. That is at the Jinju Stadium in Tokyo. The Bay Stars and the Swallows go off at 6 o'clock local time, or 2 a.m. Pacific, or 5 a.m. Eastern, depending upon where you're listening. And also the Hawks and the Fighters will go off at the same time at Escon Field in Hokkaido. Scores in the Central League, it is a 1-0 ball game in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Dragons have the lead over the Giants in that one. It is in the bottom of the 5th inning, and the Hanshin Tigers have a 7 spot up on the board. They're up 7-0 now on the Carp. That's at the Mazda Stadium. It is a 5-1 ball game for the Marines over the Lions in the Central League. That is in the bottom of the 9th inning. Chiba really has nothing to play for almost yet. They've almost clinched the home spot in the second seed in the, or second spot in the Pacific League. And of course, the ball game that you're listening to here, it is a 3-1 scoreline for the Golden Eagles over the Buffaloes. Well, that is where we stand in this one, and we'll be back in just a few. We appreciate you guys for listening in here. We thank you guys for your support. We'll be back in just a few. We have a lot more action to come as the back half of this ball game will be resuming in just a bit. Thank you guys for jumping in here with us. Here is more Steve Rademacher for your entertainment.
Steve here from outside his refrigerator that a lot of you like so much. So let's go inside. There's my hot sauces and other stuff. Let's see what we can do here for Freddie. Awesome game, Freddie. Keep up the good work. We love the baseball. So why don't we rip open Garbage Pail Kids just for you and the listeners. Large Marge, she belongs in the fridge. Liberty Libby, well, she belongs down here on the beer. Apple Corey, hey, he's pretty cool. Put him on that beer up here. And Target Margaret. All Series 3 Chrome Garbage Pail Kids. Freddie, back to you in the game, and everybody else, please enjoy everything he does and tip him nicely.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. It is going to be Takeru Okajima, Toshiki Abe, Ryosuke Tatsumi. That means it is going to be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters in the order to come to bat. And the first pitch delivered to Okajima is a fastball that misses up and away for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. Okajima tonight is 1 for 2. He's got a single and an RBI. He's also bounced into a fielder's choice, and he takes a breaking ball over for a called strike, and the count now goes even to 1-1. 74 pitches through the first 5 innings for Yamamoto as he begins his 6th inning of work. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on. It's lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats down the third baseline, and the count goes to 1-2 on Okajima. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Joe Mao says 400 yen to win 1,200 yen. Here's a ground ball hit over to second. Fielded neatly by Adachi. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Okajima. That goes as a ground out, 4-3. For 1 gone here in the 6th, that's going to bring up the first baseman, Toshiki Abe. Well, for Abe tonight, he is officially 0 for 1. He's grounded out, and he has walked in his 2 trips as he is ready to face the right-hander Yamamoto for the 3rd time. I would have to say if I was in this situation here, I would think Yamamoto is going to be out at least for the 7th. There's the first offering. There's a fastball that just misses inside for a ball. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Abe. Just doesn't have the stuff that he had in his last start. As the pitch is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count goes even at 1-1. Only 2 strikeouts through the first 5 innings for the Buffalo's ace. He's had to pitch a little bit more tonight. Just doesn't have the overpowering fastball. There's a fastball swung on. This ball's lined into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Abe digging around first, heading for second, and the ball's been misplayed in the outfield. It's going to go all the way to the wall, and that is going to allow Abe to get himself all the way into third. Going to see how they're going to score this one, but I would have to say it's probably a double with an error. It looks like it's going to be charged to the left fielder, so a very similar start to this inning as it was in the last half, as the center fielder Nakagawa made a meal of a ball the last inning. This inning here, ball got hit. Abe was definitely digging for 2, but ended up getting by. We couldn't quite tell if it was the left fielder first who hit it or if it got by Nakagawa again off his glove. But regardless, it is an error on the play, so a double, and then the error, and as we said, I think that's charged to the left fielder, Akita. And that is going to bring up Tatsumi to the plate, who is 0 for 2 tonight. And the first pitch is a fastball swung on. This ball is lined foul down the left field line. Count is quickly 0-1. Abe, who doubled just now and went around to third on that error, has got himself into scoring position, and the Buffaloes have got the infield in again here. So some calamity on the defensive side for the Buffaloes tonight. So the right-hander ready to deliver again. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. Count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. As we said, we'll be back on the airwaves again tomorrow night for all the action. So hopefully you guys can join us again for these same 2 teams, same ballpark. It's slightly earlier time. It'll be 9 o'clock Pacific or midnight Eastern. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. Tatsumi goes into the books. He's gone for out number 2, and that's going to leave it all up to the shortstop, Suki Muribayashi. Well, for Muribayashi, he is 1 for 2 tonight. He has a single in 2 trips. He was also picked off first base in that 4th inning. So Muribayashi ready to come to bat here. 2 gone and the runner at third as he stands in here waiting on the offering from Yamamoto. And the first pitch is on the way. It's a fastball that misses upstairs for a ball, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Muribayashi batting from the right side against the right-handed throwing Yamamoto. He waggles the bat. And here comes the pitch. It is a slow breaking ball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-0 on Muribayashi. Some defensive shortcomings here in this one. Nakagawa's error and the error by Akita possibly could come back to haunt the Buffaloes here, but Nakagawa's already did. Akita, we'll find out here in a moment. Here's the 2-0. Breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Muribayashi. 2 balls and 1 strike it is. He's waggling the bat is the right-handed hitter of the Golden Eagles. Waiting here on the offering from Yamamoto, who holds set and now delivers. Fastball that misses way outside. The count is now 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Right-handed hitting. Muribayashi waiting here on the offering from Yamamoto, who holds set. Here's the 3-1 pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down. It's going to be ball 4. Muribayashi is aboard with a base on balls. That's going to put runners on the corners with 2 gone. And it's going to bring, or slated to bring up the catcher, Jinjiro Simatani. Before Simatani comes to the plate, Yuma Mune is going to walk out to the mound to have a word with Yamamoto. For our friend Joe, who's been loyally with us in the chat all night tonight, 89 pitches now for the Buffaloes right-hander. But as I said before, I would fully expect if he can get out of this one here, I would anticipate he's coming back out for the 7th as well. 8th, not sure about that one, but certainly the 7th would be in his realm of possibility. So runners on the corners as Simatani comes to the plate. He is 0 for 2 in this one. He has struck out and lined out to second. His average has dropped to 217 on the year. He's got a homer and 10 runs driven in. Yamamoto working to the set position, checks the runners, and now delivers. It's a breaking ball that Simatani waves at and misses, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Our friend, the THB and Knob says, I think may have changed his stuff. He says you see a lot of games from pitchers after no hitter that the adrenaline is one. Yeah, their stuff, their command, not quite the same. Here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to short, fielded by Muribayashi. Throws to first. It had to be picked out by Gonzalez. He makes the play. That's going to be a ground out 6-3 to end the inning, and he's able to wiggle it out without any damages, Yamamoto, as that will retire Simatani for the 3rd out. No runs in the inning. There was the hit by Abbey. There were 1 error, and there was 2 runners left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom of the 6th inning, it is a 3-1 ball game. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a few. We appreciate you guys for being here with us. We'll be right back after this.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, ooh, I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never.
Welcome back, everybody. The Buffaloes will send Tomoya Mori, Kai Nakagawa, and Yuma Mune to come to bat here in their half of the 6th inning. We're just waiting to see if it is going to be Kishi coming back for his 6th inning of work or if the Eagles are going to their bullpen. I just get the feeling that Kishi will be making his way back out to the mound yet again in this one, as the crowd is making their noise here for the Buffaloes. Tomoya Mori slated to come to bat here. He is 1 for 2 tonight, single in 2 trips, as he bats from the left side here against the right-hander Kishi, back out for inning number 6 as the breaking ball misses outside. The count is 1-0. 86 pitches through 5 innings for the right-hander as he rocks into the windup and delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on and tapped foul over on the first base side. The count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Kishi, or to Mori from Kishi. Our friend Joe Mao says he's got 1 strikeout to spare. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Mori. So every time you get to 2 strikes like this situation, poor Joe's fingernails keep getting shorter and shorter. Here's the 1-2 pitch. There's a fastball swung on. This ball's line foul down the right field line just by the temporary seating, and it's going to keep the count at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Just going back to our friend THB Knob, he says, yeah, it was that sometimes after no hitters, they don't have the same stuff. As that breaking ball is grounded foul, the count is 1-2. That's exactly what it boils down to. You have a situation where the pitchers, they just don't have the same command or feel of their pitches. It's maybe not as electric as it was before. And it's difficult that they got to grind through the ball game. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded to the right side. It is fielded well into right field by the second baseman Asamura, who throws to first. And Mori is going to be retired on a ground out, 4-3 for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone here, and that's going to bring up the center fielder, Kai Nakagawa. Well, for Nakagawa tonight, he is 0 for 2. He has flown to left and flown to center. It was his gaffe in center field that allowed the Eagles to score their 3rd run of the ball game, as he turned a single into a single with a 2-base error attached to it, as the Eagles are up 3-1 in this one, as a fastball is taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Our poor friend Joe over there, to add insult to injury, maybe it's Nakagawa who puts you over the hump in the strikeout department. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lined over the head of the third baseman down the left field line into the corner. Digging for second is Nakagawa, and he's going to be aboard with a 1-out double. And that is going to bring up the third baseman, Yuma Mune. So that gets the Buffalo fans something to get excited about, as Nakagawa is aboard at second base with the double. And Mune comes to the plate. He is 1 for 2 tonight with a run scored in this one and a double. Nacho says, let's go Orix. as he pumps a fist. THB Knob and Nacho. Sorry, I thought maybe we were the same guys. So we were a little bit different. Logos were very kind of similar at the distance. Nacho says, big hit, let's drive him in, as Orix is at the top. Actually, Orix is in the middle part of their order right now with Mune. He's in the 5 spot. So here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on, again breaks Mune's bat. Back-to-back at bats. Ball's grounded over to second, and it's fielded by Asamari. Throws to first. That's going to be a ground out, 4-3. The last time he came up to bat, he had his bat broken as well by Kishi, but the barrel went more to first base. This time it followed the throw. It was interesting. It was busted on a changeup. He got it right off the end of the bat. Only thing left in Mune's hands were the handle. 2 bats down tonight by Mune. That is going to advance the runner Nakagawa over to third with 2 gone. And it brings up the shortstop Kitaro Kobayashi. Well, for Kobayashi tonight, he's officially in the books as 0 for 1. He's been on base twice. He reached on the error by Kobakata back in the second, and he drew a walk. So he bats here from the right side against the right-handed throwing Kishi. 2 gone here in the 6th. As the right-hander ready to deliver. He kicks and he fires. It's a fastball that misses outside for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Well, who knows? Maybe if Kishi gets this inning clean, he can go another one. That'll really stress out our friend Joe Mao in the chat. Lots of high-end entertainment here in this one. 96 pitches for the right-hander so far. But I have to say, I'd be shocked to see him come out for inning number 7. Here comes the 1-0. As he pitches and delivers, it's a fastball that misses outside, and that runs the count now to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Kitaro Kobayashi. For those of you who are new here, after this game is done, we'll give you a full roundup from around the NPB. And we will do the roundup on this one as well. As the right-hander kicks and fires a breaking ball that catches the outside corner. Oh, Kobayashi didn't like that one. And I got to tell you, that one there, I want to see again. That one there looked like it didn't have enough legs to bounce back, but the home plate umpire thought so. Really, that's what matters. So 2 balls and 1 strike. With the Carp losing tonight, as they will now fall to 13 games behind the Tigers. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 3-1. Obviously, they can't catch the Tigers because the Tigers have clinched. But it'll allow the Bay Stars tonight, if they can beat the Swallows, to get back into this. The other scoreline was the Dragons and the Giants. That game was in the top of the 7th, and the Giants are still trailing the Dragons 1-0. There's a breaking ball swung on. This is lifted into deep right field. Moving back on it is the right fielder, Ogo. He's got room and space. He makes the catch, and that is going to do it here for the Buffaloes in their half of the inning. They had no runs in the inning. They did have a hit. There was no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. I just get the feeling we've seen enough of Kishi, but I don't think we've seen enough of Yamamoto. Your score after 6 is 3-1 for the Golden Eagles. High fives for the starter for the Golden Eagles. One would think that that's probably going to be his night. But we'll have to wait and see when we come back. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for listening in here tonight. Here's our friend Matt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the top of the 7th inning, and our friend Dinger has hit it on the nail on the head. They don't have a cap of pitches here in the NPB. They'll roll them out a lot longer. It's a lot of old school type of baseball that we witness here. That's exactly what you see. Yamamoto coming back onto the mound to begin his 7th inning of work. But I would anticipate that Kishi's probably done. That's pretty much where he will leave off. It is the top of the order. It's going to be Kobakata, Ogo, and Shimauchi here to face the right-hander Yamamoto in inning number 7. The first pitch is a fastball. Take it for a called strike. The count is 0-1. 91 pitches through 6 innings for Yamamoto as he begins his inning of work here. And as I said before, that's pretty much right on song. Fastball swung on and it's grounded up the middle past the glove of the second baseman Adachi. And Kobakata is going to get himself his 3rd hit of the ball game, as he's aboard with a leadoff single, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Yuya Ogo. I certainly wouldn't bat an eye that Ogo will be bunting here in this situation. Kobakata is a threat to steal. He can run, as he exhibited by his 29 stolen bases this year. But are they going to try to put him into scoring position to allow Shimauchi and Asamura to try to bang him home? And I would say, based on what I see of the NPB, the answer to that is yes. And he's already squaring is Ogo. So here comes the first offering from Yamamoto, who works himself into the set position. And now he kicks and delivers. It is bunted, and it is popped up. Diving forward is Mori, but he can't come up with it. He gets to his feet, he fields the ball, and he's going to throw out the runner. Yeah, Mori knew the importance of that. If he could have caught that, they might have been able to double off the runner at first base. Excellent effort there by the Buffaloes catcher, but that's going to go as a sacrifice, and it's going to go in the books. Is that 2-3 or 2-4? We're going to watch that one there. Diving effort there by the catcher as he throws it to first base. It's going to go in the books as a 2-4 putout. It's going to advance Kobakata over to second, and that's going to bring up Hiroki Shimauchi to the plate. I forgot who Mick had put into the chat of who he had tonight. I want to say he had Chiba, but I don't know if he had the Buffaloes to go with him. So Shimauchi in the evening, 1 for 3. He scored a run. He's raised his season average up to 222, and he takes a fastball inside for a ball, and the count is 1-0. I would think that if they could retire Shimauchi here, they would probably pitch around Asamura and take their chances with Okajima. That's just my thought process thinking forward. So here comes the 1-0 to Shimauchi as the right-hander checks the runner over at second. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It's lifted foul into the seats behind third base, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Shimauchi. There's been no mysteries tonight against Yamamoto. They've had 9 hits against them in this one. As I said, it's not been the best stuff that we've seen. Our friend Mick says, Buffaloes, Marines, and Tigers. Well, I think you've hit on 2 of the 3. It's your Buffaloes that have to pick up a stuff there as well. There's a fastball that misses outside. And the count is now 2-1. Our friend Joe is asking how many strikeouts that Tyra had tonight. You know, Joe, one of the ways that you can also look, you can go to the NPB website, you can translate it using Google, and you'll be able to get some of that information. So 2 balls and 1 strike it is here to Shimauchi. But we can easily look that up for you because I don't know if where Tyra was at. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded up the middle. Fielded by the second baseman, Adachi. He throws to first, but it's going to advance Kobakata over to third. Goes as a ground out 4-3 for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it up to Hideto Asamura. But for your information on Tyra, he had 6 strikeouts today. He had 1 walk. But and he went 100 pitches. He went 6 full innings. Faced 27 batters. So 9 over his minimum. He conceded all 5 of the runs, 4 of which were earned. So that gives you all the information you need to know there. And of course, the Lions took the loss in front of 22,525. Interesting that during the week they only had 14,000 or less. Fastball that misses inside to Asamura, and the count is 1-0. For Hidetto Asamura tonight, he is 2 for 3. He's got a couple of singles and 3 trips. He's also driven in a run. This is going to be pitch number 100 of the night for Yamamoto. As the offering is on the way, it's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now is 1-1. So pitch number 100, and just to give you an idea, he's not really struggled tonight, has Yamamoto. 69 pitches for strikes. You want to be in and around that 2/3 mark. And that is pitch number 69. He's almost at 70%. Usually the top pitchers in Major League Baseball sit in that mark at 70%. As there's a fastball that misses down and away to Asamura, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Our friend Nacho asked the question, do we watch these games on DAZN? Nope. Don't have DAZN. Again, Joe's asking about other pitches. As I said, you can also go and have a peek at that. Just go to the NPB site, click on the scores across the top, and use your Google Translate. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. Counts 2-2. The other website, there's an English site called Hosted, but they don't post the information until the games are complete. It's box scores. They used to run it live. They do the Major League stuff live. I don't know why the NPB feed isn't live this year. But that is a pretty reliable site if you wake up the next morning. So here comes the 2-2 offering as the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball swung on. It is lifted down the right field line, giving chase, but watching it drift into the seats is the right fielder, Watanabe. It's going to keep the count at 2-2. And for those of you who are interested, as I said, all the final scores will eventually get up there. This here is, pop the link into the chat. This one here, they only put up after the games are done. I don't know why it's not live anymore, but that's the hosted site. There's a fastball swung on it, is lifted into deep center field. Moving back on it is Nakagawa. He backpedals now and makes the catch. And Asamura is retired for out number 3 here in the 7th inning. As we said, there's only one final, and that would be the Lions game. And you can take a look at that from the link that I posted into the chat. That's all in English. No runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. Your score as we move to the last half of the 7th, it's the Golden Eagles 3 and the Buffaloes 1. Stick around. We'll be right back in just a few. Or Mick says, just ask Google. That'll help you too. It just doesn't give you a lot of the extra detail, but it gives you enough to be able to know. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We're just waiting to see if there is the pitching change here for the Golden Eagles as we are anticipating it ourselves. Our friend Mick in the chat, something that you would like to know or you'd like to hear, I'm sure. Did you know that they do not cut off beer sales at any point in time in the NPB? So you could be 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning and want to get a beer, and you could go down and get it. That's the part that I find to be pretty interesting. There is going to be a pitching change here, as it's going to be Chihao Song entering the ball game. We thought he had a great year a couple of years ago for the Golden Eagles, but he is coming on in relief now of Kishi, who gave a fine start here tonight. We'll get you updated on his stats here in just a couple moments. But he is on in relief here. He's going to be facing the 7, 8, and 9 hitters, Ryo Adachi, Marwin Gonzalez, and Ryoma Ikeda, and he takes a first pitch fastball low for ball one, and the count is 1-0. 35,630 people in attendance at the Kyocera Dome tonight. A very healthy crowd for these two teams. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count goes even to 1-1 on Ryo Adachi. The right field line. Count now goes to 1-2 on Adachi. Song pitching in his 39th game this year. He's got a 2-0 record. He's worked 36 in the third innings. He's allowed 29 hits. He has walked 10 and struck out 26, and he's got an ERA of 2.72. There's a fastball swung on it, is chopped over to third, but it had come up and hit Adachi in the box. That's going to keep the count at 1-2 to the right-handed hitting second baseman of the Buffaloes. It looked like it did. Maybe it didn't. On the replay, it looked kind of strange. I thought it came down into the dirt and hit him twice. But anyways, regardless, he's up to bat here with a 1-2 count. That's how it kind of worked a couple years ago. It was Enraku, and then it was Song, and then it was Matsui, and they had a good run for a while. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses down. The count is 2-2. It's the biggest problem with the Golden Eagles. I know our friends in the chat said they want to see the Buffaloes offense show up. But the real question is the Golden Eagles relief pitching going to show up? Because that's where the game gets exciting, usually after the 6th inning or so in Tohoku. Not in a good way if you're a Golden Eagles fan. Here's the 2-2. Fastball swung on, grounded over to short, fielded neatly by the shortstop Murray Biashi, who throws to first. And Adachi goes to the books on a ground out, 6-3 for out number 1. That's going to bring up the first baseman, Marwin Gonzalez. Well, for Gonzalez tonight, he is 0 for 2. He has struck out both of his times here. Our friend Joe Mao says now he can sleep in peace. The only problem is Yamamoto might be coming out for yet another innings, so I don't know about that. Our friend Zay says that they took shots at Coach Prime and his players, and they took it personal. He thinks they're going to roll here. There's a fastball that misses to Gonzalez for ball 1. The count is 1-0. I don't really watch enough college football these days. I pay attention. I look at the scores at the end of the day, but it's been tougher and tougher. There's a fastball swung on it. Is grounded up the middle. Gonzalez has got himself a base hit, his first of the night. That's going to be a single here. That's only the 5th hit tonight recorded by the Buffaloes. So they've got a runner at first. That's going to bring up the left fielder, Ryoma Ikeda. Well, as I was saying, I don't really pay a whole lot of attention to the college football other than maybe the next day when I go and take a look at the score lines of stuff. I think the biggest travesty is the breakup of the Pac-10 or Pac-12, whatever they call it now. Teams joining the Big Ten and different conferences. It's unfortunate that that's the way it's kind of gone. It's no longer the Power 5, probably the Power 4. And who knows, maybe the Power 2, the Big Ten and SEC flexing their muscles in a lot of the sports. There's a fastball that misses outside. The count is 1-0. And then, of course, you got Notre Dame, who decides to stay independent because they can get all their games televised on NBC. And they get a pretty good penny from the television executives to be able to do that. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. It's a fastball swung on and missed. The count goes even to 1-1. Our friend Nacho says that his MLB career was clearly nearing an end, but he thought he'd be much better in the NPB. Yeah, average-wise, I thought he'd be better. If you were asking me about Gonzalez back in April, I would have said he's going to hit about 250, 260, hit you 15 to 20 homers and drive in 60 to 70. Well, he would be nowhere near those numbers. There's a fastball swung on and missed by Ikeda, and the count now goes to 1-2. Just reading a little bit through the chat there. Yeah, I don't know if Colorado is going to be your national champion this year. I think Dion's got a couple of years to get under his belt here. But lots of excitement in Colorado because it is fertile ground for football. Fastball misses down and the count goes to 2-2 on Akita. So for those of you who are your college football fans and you like your Buffaloes, I used to know a guy a number of years ago who was the drum major. He was the guy who would run out with that crazy hat on and do all the acrobatic stuff. Fellow was from Minnesota originally. Adam, I forget his last name. Adam Berg. There was a fastball swung on his, grounded over to first. They go to second, and it's going to be a fielder's choice as Gonzalez is going to be retired. Little surprised that they chose to go that route. A nice play there by Abby, who fielded the ball, fires it over to second to retire Gonzalez, as he's going to be retired on a fielder's choice, 3-6 for the second out of the inning. And it looks like it's not Akita at the plate. It looks like they had a pinch hitter there. It looks like it is Oda who was into pinch hit. We'll get a confirmation of that. That's going to bring up the top of the order. And Yataro Sugimoto. Sometimes we don't always get the piece. I ended up missing that there. So the first pitch delivered to Sugimoto. It's grounded over to the left side of the infield. Great backhanded play by Kobakata, who fires across the diamond. That's going to retire Sugimoto on a ground out 5-3, and that's going to do it here in the seventh inning for the Buffaloes. Well, they had no runs in the inning. They had one hit. There was no errors, and there was one runner left aboard. We are now moving to the top of the eighth inning. Your score is the Buffaloes trailing the Eagles 3-1. Hang tight, everybody. It looks like Yamamoto's coming on for another inning of work. Our poor friend Joe left the stream already. He's going to be disappointed knowing that, guess what? Yamamoto's probably going to come on back for another inning. We'll be right back after this. Appreciate you guys for being here with us. Your score, 3-1 when we return. Welcome back, everybody. We've got the Rhodes Scholar in the house, so we appreciate you for being here. Rhodes Scholar, I don't know how long he's been listening in for, but we were throwing out a couple of nuggets. So Rhodes Scholar, when you go to the game, if you're a beer drinker, all you need to know is that there is nothing there for you. It is going to be a pitching change. They are going to be bringing in a left-hander on in relief, so our friend Joe can sleep easy tonight, knowing that he got the under on both of these pitchers for their strikeouts. It is going to be the lefty coming in, and it looks like it is going to be Yamada on in relief. This is going to be Nobuyushi Yamada, the left-hander, as he takes over here. He is making his 29th appearance of the year. He's got no record on the year, 29 innings, 20 hits. He has walked 6 and struck out 29, and he's got an ERA of 1.24. The staying in the game in left field is the pinch hitter, and that was Oda, who is replacing Akita here. So Okajima, Abe, and Tatsumi to face Yamada here in the top of the eighth inning. And the first pitch is on the way. It's a fastball that misses down and away for ball one, and the count is 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes. So as I was saying before, if Rhodes Scholar had jumped in, no stoppage of beer sales. They don't have a 7th inning cutoff in the NPB. You could be 2 outs with 2 strikes on the hitter in the 9th inning, and you could still get yourself a beer. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 2-0 to Okajima, which is pretty interesting stuff. You would have never thought that. So 2 balls and no strikes. So here comes the offering from the lefty. And there's the pitch, and it's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 2-1. The other thing that I thought was interesting, it was at the game at the Tokyo Dome, and I don't know, it was in about the 5th inning in the game. I needed to stretch my legs. My knee was bothering me, so I got up to go for a walk. And you can actually leave the stadium in the middle of the game, get a re-entry pass, as long as you come back before the end of the 7th. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 2-2. And so what they do is they stamp the back of your ticket. They run it through the scanner. So I went out for a walk, and in the Tokyo City there, they have a roller coaster, and they got all kinds of food places. So if you get tired of eating the ballpark food, you go out and grab yourself something off the stand on the street and bring it back in with you and chow down. It's pretty crazy. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. So I thought that was kind of neat, little pieces. Road says, how are the dome seats? Well, I sat in multiple places. I've sat in the Kyocera Dome. I sat in both the games there in left field. I sat in the carp section. Here's the 3-2 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to third, fielded by Mune. Throws to first, and that is going to retire Okajima on a ground out 5-3. He's in the books for out number 1, and that's going to bring up the first baseman, Toshiki Abe. But when I sat at the Tokyo Dome, I sat in 3 different locations. I sat 24 rows behind third base on the Swallows side the first night. The second night, I sat in the – where did I sit the second night? Second night, I sat up between first and third in the upper deck. And then the third night, I sat out in left center field. And so the seats are tight. Like, I don't know how big a guy you are, Road Scholar. I'm 6'2". And so when you're seated on the third base side, it's tight, like your knees. It's not built for somebody my height. As there is a fastball taken for a called strike by Abe, and the count is 0-1. Abe tonight is officially 1 for 2. He's got a double, a walk, and a ground out to his name. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. And when you get into the outfield seats at the different venues, usually there's no backings on the seats. It's kind of like a bench seating type thing, or it's just the seat that you would sit in without the back. So that can play into it a little bit too, if that's a problem for you in the outfield. But for me, basically, you could get an outfield seat at the Kyocera Dome for the Carp and the Giants for the equivalent of about $6 US. As that fastball misses down, and the count is now 2-1. Journeyman asked the question, would you say the Giants and the Swallows are the same as the Lakers and the Clippers? I don't know if that's a good comparison. I think the Yomiuri Giants are like the New York Yankees, or at least perceive themselves that way. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded through the 6-hole into left field, and Abe is aboard with a base hit. Whereas if you ask a lot of people, they're kind of the glamour team, but a lot of people love the Swallows. The Swallows are much revered in Tokyo, especially in the Southwest there. So maybe you would consider them to be the Mets to the Yankees in some ways, but they're a lot more popular than the Mets would be to the Bronx Bombers and New York. And the Hiroshima Carp and the Hanshin Tigers, also very popular clubs. So when you think of Japanese baseball, you think of the Giants in Tokyo, and then the Carp and the Tigers as the 3 biggest clubs in terms of their popularity with the fans. Here's the first offering to Ryosuke Tatsumi. It's a fastball that misses outside for a ball, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. The only game I couldn't get to, I tried to get tickets for the game to see the Tigers play. When I was in Osaka, I was there for 9 nights. The Tigers were only there for 2 of the 9 nights. It was the only game I couldn't get tickets for. Saw 9 games on the journey. Here comes the 1-0 pitch as the lefty holds set. Kicks and delivers a fastball that misses down and away. Count is now 2-0. And so if you ask what the ticket prices would be for the seats, I probably spent in the neighborhood of about $200 for the 9 games. And as I said, I sat in different spots. So the last game in Kobe to see the Lions and the Buffaloes, I spent the equivalent of about, I would say, $40 to sit 14 rows behind home plate. I don't know what major league venues you can get for $40 behind home plate, but I would assume nothing that close. Fastball misses down. It's now 3-0 to Tatsumi. So Abby, the runner at first, Tatsumi at the plate here with a 3-0 count. There's one gone here in the top half of the 8th inning. 13 pitches already delivered here by Yamada. So here comes the offering from the lefty, who works to the set position, and now he's ready to deliver. He kicks and fires a fastball that comes inside. It's going to be ball 4. Tatsumi's going to be aboard with a walk that puts runners at first and second. It's going to bring the shortstop Atsuki Muribayashi to the plate. Our friend Road Scholar asked the question if I bought all of my tickets day of, and did I do any advanced purchasing? And we are going to have a pitching change here. So while that happens, I can continue to talk about this. So yeah, I did all my purchases day of the game. Most of the stadiums, for example, in Yokohama, the tickets go on sale 3 hours before first pitch. So if the game's at 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock is when the tickets go on sale. Pretty much every stadium opens up its gates at 2 hours before game time, which would be 4 o'clock on the evening games. And when that happens, what you have to like about it is that they're old school, the Japanese league. They do infield, outfield before the games. Most teams do. And the crowd is in the stadium. I would say half the stadium is full 2 hours before the game to watch the pregame and the infield. It's a full-on event. So when you're there not just for the game, you're there for the pregame. And people are into it. And when they do the pregame, they clap and they cheer just as if there's anything else. They watch good relays and good cuts. So that is pretty interesting. Just a few more thoughts on the tickets. So if you do buy online, and I'm going to have to do my homework because I've got to work on one video at a time. I have a good video coming out on the gloves of the NPB. So that'll be the first one that we'll knock off. And I'm probably about 30% of the way done. That full-length video will be about 8 to 10 minutes in length. It's going to be pretty cool. I think it's going to be pretty cool, as are into their gloves are the Japanese. But as far as I'm concerned, the tickets to get online, probably the Hanshin Tigers would be, if you know when you're going, you should be getting. But there's something called like half lettering, and it's very difficult for North Americans, and you have to have something that will translate into it. And I don't know how to explain it, but when I put my video together, that'll be on how to get tickets. That's going to be something that people who will be doing the advanced tickets are going to need to know, because it's an absolute pain in the butt. And for me to learn it while I was over there was just too much time. Well, the pitching change is happening here. It is going to be Kogita or coming into the ball game. So Atsuya Kogita coming in. We'll get you his specs here in just a minute, as he is coming on in relief. So Atsuya Kogita on in relief. And he is going to be making his 32nd appearance for the Buffaloes. He's got 2 wins and no losses. 40 1/3 innings, 32 hits. He has allowed 10 walks, 29 strikeouts, and a 2.68 ERA. And he is going to be entrusted to face the shortstop Muribayashi here. So Kogita on in relief of the reliever Yamada. And the first pitch ready to be delivered here to the right-handed hitting Muribayashi, as he checks the runner Abbey at second and now delivers. It is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Our friend in the chat asked the question, and that would be Nacho. He says, what do you think of Shintaro Fujinami? Would he have made a better transition to the MLB? As there's a fastball swung on. It's grounded to second. They go over to the shortstop covering for one, back to first, and it's going to be an inning-ending double play. So on 2 pitches, Kogita does his job as he induces the double play, 4-6-3 to end the inning. And that will do it here, as Tatsumi is gone for the second out at second. Muribayashi done at first. And that will do it here for the Eagles in their half of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the 8th, and I'll come back and talk about Shintaro Fujinami and my thoughts on whether or not he should have made a better transition. We'll be right back in just a few. Appreciate you for being here. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the last half of the 8th inning, and coming to bat will be Haruta Watanabe, Tomoya Mori, and Kai Nakagawa. We're just getting a confirmation. I would assume that Chihao Sung's day will be done. We're waiting here to get the announcement if there is going to be a pitching change, and there sure will be. That is going to be a right-hander coming in for the Eagles. It is going to be Shota Watanabe, who is coming on in relief. The rookie making his 41st appearance of the year. He's boasting a 7-2 record. He's got 1 save. He's worked 38 1/3 innings. He's allowed 18 hits, 14 walks, and 32 strikeouts, and he's got an ERA of 1.41. So Shota Watanabe on in relief here. He'll be the 3rd pitcher used tonight by the Golden Eagles. That's the one thing I noticed in terms of my own stuff. It looks like they've got some defensive changes. Kobakata has moved out into left field. They have a new 3rd baseman to the Golden Eagles, but we messed up on the number there on who that is and where the change has been made. One of the things is I've got a lot of video, and the problem is just taking the time now to put the stuff together. So I want to do one. I really took a lot of stuff of the Hall of Fame. Got a chance to get to the Japanese Hall of Fame again this time. And for those of you who are out there for basically a $5 entry fee, why not? It's worth it to get around and have a look. There's a first pitch fastball ticket for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Watanabe versus Watanabe, as the right fielder here for the Buffaloes stands in. He's 0 for 3 tonight, as the pitch on the way is a fastball that misses down and in. And the count now goes to 1-1. But back to the Nacho's question about Fujinami make a better transition to the MLB than he did. My thoughts on Fujinami would have been this, is I think he would have been better served coming out of the bullpen straight away and not as a starter. There's a fastball swung on it, is chopped foul down the line at 3rd base. That's fielded by the 3rd baseman. It's going to run the count to 1-2. I wasn't sure. I wasn't convinced that he was going to be a starter, and obviously in Oakland, he certainly struggled. And as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion, he would have been better served. I think he's going to have some greater success for the Orioles out of their pen than he would be facing hitters 2 and 3 times through the order. Just my opinion. So here comes the 1-2 pitch as the right-hander works to the set and now delivers. Fastball swung on, grounded over to short, fielded by Murray Biashi, throws on the run, and that is going to retire Watanabe on a groundout 6-3. So 1 up and 1 away here in the 8th inning, and that brings up the catcher, Tomoya Mori. Well, for Mori, he is 1 for 3 in this one. He's got a single in 3 trips. He's also grounded to first and grounded to second. So he gets the opportunity to come to bat. So back to Road Scholar again. Yeah, all the tickets were bought day of, with the exception of the Buffaloes game in Kobe. I bought that one actually at the stadium the day that the Giants were to play the Carp at the Kyocera Dome. So I was able to get that in advance. There's a fastball ticket for a called strike. And Should I have bought it in advance? Probably could have got walk-up, because that night that I was at the game in Kobe, the outfield seats, there were a lot of empty seats in the stadium. You could have had the pick of the litter. Although I sat behind home plate that night, and great night for a game. Probably low 80s, nice breeze. Fastball misses upstairs, and the count goes to 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander against the left-hander. Watanabe ready to deliver again. He kicks and he fires. Fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2. The game at Yokohama, I got my tickets at the stadium. The games in, I should even say day of. I actually bought the games in Tokyo at the Egg at the Tokyo Dome in advance. I got them. The games I went to were on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Swallows, Tigers. And I got my tickets on the Tuesday. So I bought those tickets, or on the Monday. Monday, I got the tickets for those 3 games. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Maury. I just didn't want to take the chance of having those sold out, especially goes against the Swallows, because all of those games were pretty much sellouts or darn near close to it. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As the right-hander ready to go again. Gets the sign from his catcher. Watanabe now delivers. Fastball that misses outside. The count goes to 3-2 on Maury. The game in Saitama is actually, I would tell you this, I would really encourage you to go to the game in Saitama, to go see the Lions play. Stadium's an interesting stadium. It's an open-air dome. In other words, it's covered. And good thing it was, because a thunderstorm rolled through before the game. And it is covered, but you're sitting in, it's like a bowl of soup. It is hot and humid. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. As it's on its way, it's a breaking ball that misses. They appeal to third base, but they say that Maury didn't go. That's going to be a walk here with 1 gone. Maury's going to go to first. That's going to bring Kai Nakagawa to the plate. So what I did is, when I got my seats in Saitama, I chose to sit high up, because you get a cross breeze. And I sat down the left field line, and so you got a pretty good cross breeze there as well. But the best part about the Lions facility is, and I didn't know this, but their field, they have a beautiful training facility. I took a little video of that. Their training facility is outstanding. It's a infield skin. They can take batting practice in there. It doesn't include a big outfield, but it's absolutely fantastic. There's the first pitch to Nakagawa. It's down in the dirt for ball 1. The count is 1-0. But if you kept on walking past the training facility, the second team was actually playing that day. They were playing against a university. And I was talking to a buddy of mine who used to play professionally in Australia and Japan and in Canada. And he said it's been a major change fundamentally in the Japanese thinking, that he said, up until about 6-7 years ago, the second teams would never play university teams. Fastball misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0. And so I got a chance to watch about an inning of that, although I wanted to get out of there because it was spitting rain a little bit. But the second team was playing, and you could have caught all the action there, as it was literally right behind the stadium where the Balluna Dome is. And I just happened to catch it right on the proper weekend, because I don't know always when the second team is playing. I didn't bother to take a look. So here comes the 2-0 offering, as the right-hander kicks and delivers. Fastball that just misses upstairs. It's now 3-0. That pitch looked pretty darn good. Watanabe not getting any love from the home plate umpire, so 3 balls and no strikes here. And the interesting part is, when you go to the games at Saitama, the train takes you right to the stadium. It's right there at the stop. And you get out, and it's obviously Cebu is in the name of the team, the Saitama Cebu Lions, and that's, of course, the railway. Fastball taken for a called strike. Counts now 3-1. And, of course, they have an old railway car that you can go up and tour and all the rest of that stuff. And I had some pretty good okonomiyaki at that game. No, check that. I had some okonomiyaki I had elsewhere, but Actually, it was Okonomiyaki. I had some pretty good Okonomiyaki in Saitama. Here's the pitch. That's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 3-2 on Nakagawa. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. As a reminder, we'll be back on the airwaves again tomorrow, 9 o'clock Pacific, midnight Eastern for these same 2 clubs. We'll try to stay with the games that will be competitive or at least will have some meaning to it. And that is what our goal is over these next couple of nights as the season will wind down. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Fastball, taken for a called third strike. Oh, I don't know what Nakagawa was looking at, but he watched strike 3 go by. And he is out for out number 2 here in the 8th inning, and that's going to leave it up to the third baseman, Yuma Mune. Well, for Mune, he comes to bat here. He's 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a double. He's scored a run. He's also grounded out twice, back to the pitcher and to the second baseman. But the funny part about his at-bats is he's broken his bat on each of the last 2 at-bats. Bats have gone further than the balls. Here's the pitch. Fastball, take it for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Mune. As we said at the outset, Mune not enjoying the best season of his career. He's had 2 back-to-back pretty good years. This year here, he's got his average at 239. We saw him make a couple of boots in the game in Kobe a couple weeks ago. Usually pretty steady-handed over at third base. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning, Eagles have a 3-1 lead over the Buffaloes. Getting into the deep water here for both of these ball clubs. Right-hander Watanabe working to the set. Here comes the 1-1. Pitch is on the way. Fastball swung on. This is lined into center field for a base hit. Going to be the second hit of the night for Mune. Rounding second and heading to third is Mori. And the Buffaloes have still got something going here as they got runners on the corners with 2 gone. That's going to leave it up to the shortstop, Kotaro Kobayashi. And for Kobayashi tonight, he is officially 0 for 2 in this one. He's reached on an error, he's walked, and he's flown out to right field. As we check that out of town scoreboard, it's a final at the Belluna Dome. The Marines knocked off the Lions 5-1. We do have a trip to the mound here for the pitching coach. I love it when they bring out the water, too. Gets a drink of water while he's out there. The other game in the Pacific League, the Fighters and the Hawks go off in about an hour and 7 minutes. Top of the 8th inning in Hiroshima, and the Tigers have a 9-3 lead over the Carp. Top of the 9th inning at the Bantalin Dome in Nagoya, it is 1-0 for the Dragons over the Giants. And the game in another hour and 7 minutes, Bay Stars and Swallows. We're not going to stay up and do those ones tonight. Unfortunately, got to get some sleep in here for tomorrow. Well, Kobayashi comes to the plate. They've got some defensive signaling that they're taking care of as they flash their signs defensively here. We're ready to resume the action as the right-hander Watanabe ready to go again. He leans in and he looks at the sign from his catcher, Jiro Sumitani, and he works to the set position. Here's the pitch. Fastball just misses outside to Kobayashi. Count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Jeremy Horn in here doing his best impersonation of some Japanese stuff. Says, swing batter batter. Welcome, Jeremy Horn. Dinger says, what's on the docket tomorrow? These same 2 teams will go at it again. Will be Buffaloes and Golden Eagles at 9 o'clock Pacific time as that fastball swung on and tapped slowly foul down the third base line. Count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. 3-1 is the scoreline here. Eagles have the lead. The Buffaloes are threatening here in the bottom of the 8th. They've got runners on the corners with 2 out. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Kirby-Ashi. It's a fastball swung on and lifted foul down the first base line, and the count goes to 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes it is. We're approaching the 3-hour mark of this game. It's generally right on song with what the NPB generally produces. NPB announces their average time per 9-inning games on their website. It's an average of 3 hours and 8 minutes a game through yesterday's ball games on the 15th. There's a fastball swung on. This is lined on over to the right side of the infield. Asamura falls to the knees to make the catch. That's going to retire Kirby-Ashi for the 3rd out of the inning, and that is going to do it here. No runs in the inning. There was 1 hit. There were no errors and 2 runners left aboard. We're now through 8 complete. Your score is the Golden Eagles 3 and the Buffaloes 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a few with all the action after this. Appreciate you guys in just a few. Hang tight. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be a pitching change as the Buffaloes are going to their bullpen again. It is going to be a right-hander. It is going to be Shota Abe coming on in relief. And if you guys are needing a snooze, this would be the time to do it. I got video of Shota Abe when he was pitching in Kobe a couple weeks ago against the Lions. He was 30-plus seconds between pitches. He works extremely slow when they get runners on base in between. So right away here, we can tack an extra probably 10 minutes on this ball game, no matter what the outcome is. But Shota Abe on in relief. He is going to be the 4th pitcher used here tonight by the Buffaloes. And it is going to be a pinch hitter coming in for Cimitani. It's going to be Mikael Franco coming in. He is batting .225 on the year with 12 homers and 32 runs batted in. So Franco on to pinch hit here in the top of the 9th inning. And the first pitch is delivered. It's a fastball swung on and fouled straight back, and the count is 0-1. I literally had the clock out. He gets the ball back, does Abe. He rubs it up, takes him forever to get onto the rubber, leans in, gets the sign, then he takes him forever to come to the set position. This is a absolute rain delay ready to happen. I cringe when he comes into pitch. Here's the offering here. Fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-1, but I cringe more when there's runners on base. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is to Franco. Kobakata and Ogo to follow here in the 9th inning. As the pitch is a fastball swung on, it is lifted into right field. Moving over to his right, underneath it, and making the catch is Watanabe, and that's going to retire Franco for the 1st out of the inning. So 1 eagle up and 1 eagle down, and that's going to bring up the top of the order in Hirota Kobakata. And for Kobakata tonight, he has enjoyed himself a pretty solid night at the plate. He's got 3 hits. He's also scored a couple of runs. 3 for 4 is the 3rd baseman of the Eagles. So Abe ready to go here. It's the first time he's faced Abe. In fact, all 3 of his hits came off of Yoshinobu Yamamoto tonight. There's a fastball inside, take it for a called strike, and that stood Kobakata up. I don't think he believed the call. He's raised his average up to 254 tonight on the season with those 3 hits. Fastball misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander Abbey ready to deliver again. He kicks and he fires. Fastball swung on, and it's lifted foul into the netting down the third baseline. Count is now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 1 ball and 2 strikes here to the leadoff hitter Kobakata, and the pitch is on the way. Fastball missing down, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Shota Abbey working his way here through the order as the pitch is ready to make its way. Here's the offering. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away right into Mori. Count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. I do thank everybody who has checked into the stream tonight. We appreciate you guys for bouncing in here with us and being a part of it. NPB Baseball on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. So here's the 2-2. Fastball down. They appeal over to the third base umpire, and they go up with the right hand. They say that Kobakata went around. He's going to be gone for the second out of the inning. That's going to leave it up to the right fielder, Yuya Ogo. Well, for Ogo, he is officially 0 for 2 in this one. He's struck out and flown to center. He had a sacrifice fly to drive in a run in the 5th inning. And he also had a sacrifice bunt back in the 7th. So 0 for 2 it is, but he's got an RBI to his name. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Ogo. So no balls and 1 strike. Right-hander against the left-hander. Abbey ready to deliver again. He kicks and fires fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Abbey rubbing up the baseball again as he gets himself a new one. Didn't like the old one. So here comes the 1-1 pitch as he holds set at the belt. Now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses outside. Count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike it is. Here in the top of the 9th inning, Eagles have a 3-1 lead over the Buffaloes. Pitch on the way. It's a fastball swung on and tapped foul. Running the count to 2-2 on Ogo. Looking ahead here to the bottom of the 9th inning, it's going to be the bottom third of the batting order. It'll be Adachi, Gonzalez, and Oda to come to bat for the Buffaloes, 7, 8, and 9. One would have to think that it's going to be Yuki Matsui trying to come in to close it out for the Golden Eagles. So here comes the 2-2 pitch as the right-hander delivers. Fastball swung on. It's pop foul. It's going to reach the seats behind home plate. And the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ogo. As we said, when this one's complete, we'll give you the full roundup of this one and look at that out-of-town scoreboard. Our poor friend Joe over there, if he would have been sticking around with us, he could have listened to all the strikeouts that everybody had tonight. Here's the 2-2 pitch. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 3-2. Murray Giants had an opportunity to close up some ground tonight. They couldn't do it. They got shut out on the road by the Dragons. Tomiyuki Sagano pitched pretty good, but it was Takahashi who pitched better for the Chinichi Dragons. So here comes the 3-2 pitch as the right-hander works to the set. And now he kicks and he fires. Fastball swung on and lifted foul down the third baseline. Count remains 3-2 to Ogo. So it's starting to turn into a battle here with Abbey. games are not that far away as Fukuoka and the Fighters and the Bay Stars and the Swallows get going in less than an hour time. Be an opportunity for the Bay Stars to put some distance between them and the Giants and to gain some ground on the Carp. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. Ogo down on strikes. He's gone for the third out of the inning, and that is going to do it here for the Eagles in their half of the ninth. Well, Abby comes in and does the job as he retires the Eagles 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the ninth inning. Your score is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 3, and the Orix Buffaloes 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the ninth inning when we return after this. Appreciate you guys for hanging with us tonight.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in. Check them out. Leave a like, tell other people. But Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Just looking ahead for tomorrow night, it is going to be the starting pitcher for the announced, at least for the Orix Buffaloes, is going to be Hiroya Miyagi. He is going to be taking to the hill as he will be taking on, it looks like it is going to be Yasumasa for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. We'll just get a confirmation of that, but I'm not sure exactly. We're looking for him to see exactly if that is going to be the starter or not, but it looks like who it is they've announced. Don't have any further information on that one. So that'll be game 2 of the series tomorrow night. The Miyagi is the lefty for the Orix Buffaloes. Well, as we mentioned, it's going to be the 7, 8, 9 hitters slated to come to bat. Ryo Adachi, Marwin Gonzalez, and Oda ready to face Yuki Matsui, who is on in relief, as he is the closer for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. And the lefty kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on. This ball is grounded up the middle for a base hit. And they have life through the Buffaloes with a single by Ryo Adachi. He is aboard here with a base hit. That's going to bring up Marwin Gonzalez. So a lot of people in the attendance cheering on here. Their hometown Buffaloes. They haven't gone anywhere yet. Nice job there by Adachi to stay inside the ball. And he hit it past the glove of the second baseman Asamura into center field. So he is aboard at first base. That is going to bring Marwin Gonzalez to the plate. And if it is bringing Gonzalez, he's batting from the right side. It'll be for his first time here tonight. And that's exactly what it is. The switch hitter hitting from the right side. He's got a single in 3 trips. He's also struck out twice tonight. And the first pitch here from Matsui ready to come on its way as he kicks and delivers a fastball. This ball is belted foul down the left field line. Oh, did he turn on that one? Absolutely scorched, but he hook-barreled that one foul. And the count is 0-1. That was belt-high fastball. And Gonzalez dealed it up. You could see the manager, Nakajima. Oh, boy, they thought that one. He can't even bear to watch right now. He's turned to 180 around on Gonzalez. Maybe he's looking at his board of who he's going to pinch hit next. So Gonzalez here waiting on the offering. The 0-1 count here from Matsui. Here comes the pitch. And it's a breaking ball, waved out and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. Gonzalez there looked like he wanted to turn that one around as well. Justin Hernandez jumps in. We are in the bottom of the 9th inning, Justin. It is a 3-1 lead for the Golden Eagles. Buffaloes are the ones that are hitting. No balls and 2 strikes to Gonzalez. Adachi, the runner at first. Oda waits his turn on deck. Matsui working to the set position. And here comes the offering. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away right at home plate, and the count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes it is. Marwin Gonzalez had a decent start to the season, and then he just seemed to fall out of favor. He'd played a lot of second base, and then they'd moved him around a little bit in the infield. Also saw him at shortstop. Tonight he gets the start at first base. But as pointed out by our friend earlier, the journeyman, he is getting a little long in the tooth. His best days are certainly in the rearview mirror. Here comes the 0-2 pitch as the lefty holds set. And now he kicks and fires. It's a breaking ball, waved at and missed. And Gonzalez goes down on strikes. He's in the books for the first out of the inning. And that is going to bring up the left fielder, Yuya Oda. Well, Oda came into the ballgame to replace Ryoma Ikeda. And Oda is 0 for 1. He bounced into a fielder's choice his first time up. And we'll actually get a double check on this. It's going to be a pinch hitter for Oda. Oda's not going to get a chance to swing the bat again. This is going to be number 10. This is going to be Oshiro. So Koji Oshiro into pinch hit. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses way outside. The count is 0-1. Oshiro hitting an even 200 on the year with a homer and 10 RBIs as he bats here. So Koji Oshiro to hit for Oda. Crowd still making a lot of noise, trying to help their team on are the Buffaloes. They find themselves down 3-1 here in the 9th inning. Waggling the bat is Oshiro, waiting on the offering from the lefty Matsui, who works to the set position. And now the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball swung on and missed. Count goes even to 1 ball and 1 strike. Yataro Sugimoto waits his turn on deck. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Oshiro. A runner at first, Adachi. 1 gone here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. The Buffaloes are down to their last legs. Here comes the 1-1 as Matsui holds set. And he kicks and fires. Fastball misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1. Let's talk about Matsui going to Major League Baseball next year. He is another one. Talk about different players. I don't know where he would fit in. I don't think he can close games at the major league level. But certainly a left-hander out of the bullpen can make some noise. And if he can get himself a more lucrative deal in Major League Baseball than he can in the Japanese League, why wouldn't you? Why not? So here comes the 2-1 pitch. That pitch is a breaking ball down. They appeal to the first base umpire, but they say that Oshiro didn't go, and that runs the count to 3-1. We'll get a look at that one ourselves. We'll see what the first base umpire saw that we would agree or disagree. That was close. That call could have went either way. I think Oshiro might have. They were playing on the road. The umpire goes up with the right hand, one would think. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. As the lefty Matsui delivers, fastball misses outside. And that is going to put the tying run to first. It's going to bring up the top of the order in Yataro Sugimoto. And the dangerous Yataro Sugimoto with his 14 home runs. He's been quiet here tonight. He is 0 for 4. He has struck out twice and grounded out twice. But now the Eagles have flocked to the mound to have a word with their pitcher with runners at first and second. talking over the situation. You got to think it's not going to be a bunt situation here. Sugimoto can put the ball in the seats with one swing of the bat, and that could end the ball game. And what a backbreaker that could possibly be to the Golden Eagles season. Golden Eagles fighting for the playoff spot. They've had a commanding lead, but they've led pretty much all the way in this one since they scored a run back in, or the 2 runs back in the 3rd inning. And they haven't looked back. So Sugimoto here waiting on the offering from the pitcher Matsui. Lots of drama here. Matsui ready to go as he gets his sign from his catcher, and he's ready to go to work. Here comes the offering. He checks the runners and now delivers. Fastball that misses down for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. Good hitters count here for Sugimoto. Sugimoto was the player of the month in the NPB for the month of March, April. He had 8 home runs. And then he got hurt, and since then he's only had 6 the rest of the way. So basically through May, June, July, and August, and half of September, only has hit 6 home runs. But the big fella can run into the ball, that is for sure. Here comes the 1-0 offering as the lefty holds to the set. Is they calling it? Fastball swung on and missed, and that looked like it could have been into the seats if he would have caught up to that one. 1 ball and 1 strike. Our friend VW jumps in and says, why is he walking everyone? Well, it's the first walk allowed here in the inning by the lefty Matsui. Because Matsui's like a roller coaster. He is always got issues. He's never makes it easy on himself. Throws a lot of pitches to get few outs. That's what happens. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. The team that gets them, bite your nails. Here's the offering. Fastball swung on and fouled away. Count goes to 1-2 now on Sugimoto as he does a tour of the batter's box. He never makes it easy, ever. Matsui cannot seem to get himself a clean inning at the best of times. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Sugimoto. Buffaloes here got 1 out here in the 9th inning. They're looking to try to cash in some runs to tie the ball game, or possibly take it here with Sugimoto at the plate. Here comes the 1 ball, 2 strike pitch as Matsui holds set. He kicks and delivers. Fastball that misses down, and the count goes even at 2-2. Be interesting to see what they'll come up with in the on-deck circle. It's supposed to be Haruto Watanabe, but one would anticipate that his night will be done, as I would think they would go to the bench for a pinch hitter. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Sugimoto. Matsui leans in. He gets the sign from his catcher. He's ready to go back to work. He is not one of those ones who works quickly either. Between him and Shota Abe, turns this game into a walking pace. Here comes the 2-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and missed. Sugimoto's down on strikes. He's gone for out number 2, and that's going to leave it up to the 2 spot in the batting order. As we said, it was occupied by Haruto Watanabe, but we anticipate we're going to see a pinch hitter here, and we'll hold in for that one. So who are they bringing off the bench? We're going to check it out here in a second. But they are making a change as the runners are at first and second here. Coming in to pinch hit here for the Buffaloes, it is going to be Tatsuya Yamashi. So Tatsuya Yamashi on to pinch hit, and the first pitch he swings at is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1. Yamashi hitting .208 on the year. No homers, no RBIs. And he's got to try to find a way to get to Tomoya Mori on deck. So Tatsuya Yamashi here to pinch hit in a tough situation. Interesting, no Yuma Tongo tonight. amongst other players. Here comes the 0-1 offering. The lefty delivers a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes to 1-1. This is the guy that you want to get because you don't want to get to Tomoya Mori. That is for sure if you're an Eagles fan. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As Yamashi digs himself in, ready to get the offering. This here is going to be one would have to think, a movement pitch. It's got to be around the zone. And the 1-1 is set to come as the lefty holds to the set at the belt. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on and missed. That last pitch was at 95 miles an hour on the gun. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Yamashi. The word I would use there is completely overmatched. Overmatched for sure. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Buffalo fans are willing their players on here. Just got to find a way to keep this game alive. Get it over to the catcher, Mori. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. As the left-hander works set again. Checks the runners. And now he delivers. It's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner. Oh, the catcher Oda thought that was strike 3. Oh, that's going to run the count even to 2-2. Matsui not getting any love from the home plate umpire. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're getting down to the crunch time here. So left-hander leans in. He gets his sign from his catcher Oda. Working again to the set position. There comes the 2-2 to Yamashi. And he kicks and fires. It is a fastball swung on and missed. Yamashi went fishing, and that is going to do it. He's gone for out number 3. That is going to end this one here. There was no runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors, and 2 runners left the board. Your final score, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 3 and the Orix Buffaloes 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll wrap this one up for you when we come back in just a few. We appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight. We'll be right back after this.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Each smile comes back again. Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing a song and think about sunny weather. Happy trails to you until we meet again.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. And that is going to be a wrap on this one. We'll give you the wrap up here for this ball game. We'll give you the out of town scoreboard, and we'll call it a night. Well, the scoring was opened by the Buffaloes back in the 2nd inning with 1 out. Yumamune doubled, and then it was Kataro Kobayashi who reached on an error by the 3rd baseman, and up stepped Ryo Adachi with runners on the corners, and he grounded out to the 3rd baseman Kobakata, and that allowed Mune to score the first and only run for the Buffaloes. After that, it was all Eagles in the 3rd inning. With 1 out, it was a Hiroto Kobakata single. And after Yuya Oga flew out, it was Hiroki Shimouchi who hit a single. And Hideo Asamura singled home Kobakata with the first run of the game to tie it. And then Takeru Okajima singled home Shimouchi. And that gave the Eagles a 2-1 lead. They added to their scoreline in the 5th inning when it was a base hit single by Kobakata. But the ball was misplayed by the center fielder Kai Nakagawa that allowed Kobakata to go all the way around to 3rd. And then up stepped Yuya Ogo, and he had a deep sacrifice fly to right field. And that cashed in Kobakata with the 3rd run of the game. The victory tonight goes to Takayuki Kishi. He goes to 7-5 on the year. The save goes to the left-hander Matsui. And it was Yoshinobu Yamamoto, the ace of the Buffalo staff. He takes the loss. He drops to 14-6 in this one. Just a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard before we call it a night. The Yomiuri Giants fell to the Chinichi Dragons 1-0 tonight. 1-4-0 for the Dragons, 0-4-0 for Yamuri. It was Takahashi getting the win. He goes to 6-10 for the Dragons. Sagano takes the loss. He's 4-7. Fujishima gets the save, his first of the year. The only run scored in the ballgame was in the first inning on an Okabayashi home run, and that was it. In the Pacific League, the other game that's a final, the Chibalote Marines knocked off the Saitama Cebu Lions 5-1. 5-6-0 for Chiba, 1-6-1 for Saitama. It was Mima getting the win. He goes to 3-8. Taira takes the loss. He's 10-7. Home runs in that one. Gregory Polanco hit his now league-leading 24th homer for the Marines, and the Saitama Cebu Lions had Takeda knocking home his 4th of the year. The only other game that is still underway, it is in the bottom of the 9th inning, and the Hanshin Tigers have a 9-3 lead over the Hiroshima Carp. That one there is still going. Other games coming up in less than a half an hour's time. It'll be the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters hosting the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. That goes off at 6 o'clock local time, or 2 a.m. Pacific, 5 a.m. Eastern if you're in North America, as is the game between the Bay Stars and the Swallows. That goes off at the Jinju at the same time. All right, everybody, we'll be back on the airwaves again tomorrow night. It'll be 9 o'clock Pacific, midnight Eastern. We'll be back on the airwaves tomorrow. Come on back and check us out after the UFC. Appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight. We'll be back on again tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody, and we will see you guys again tomorrow.